Okay, and we're back. So, having just finished the Black Mirror, I don't know. This might be a bit quick on the heels of just finishing Might and Magic 3, 4, and 5, but hey, I have quite a fair bit of spare time at the moment, so if I want to get something like this done, now is probably a good time to do it. Fly by the seat of my pants, why not? If I keep humming and ahhing about when the best time to do something is, I'll never get something done. We're going to be doing Baldur's Gate. This is... I don't even really need to explain this. People who know this series... know all that they need to know about the game. Baldur's Gate is a really well-regarded RPG from 1998, 1997, 98. I think it is. Hang on, let me check. Let me see. Yep, 1998. The first one came out. Made by Black Isle Studios in partnership with TSR at the time, and yep, you know, tells the story of your character as you go through the eponymous Baldur's Gate and through to Baldur's Gate 2. I enjoy the series very much. I haven't played through it too many times. I guess partly because I don't want to, like, you know, overplay it. Though I do have very fond memories of playing this. Let's see. I think the first role-playing game I played is Diablo 1. I'm going to count that as an RPG because it's an ARPG, action RPG, so yeah. But Baldur's Gate was a close second. I was introduced to this by at one of my family friends' houses, and their father encouraged me to play it. So I ended up getting a copy of it myself because I'd play it at their house, and I was like, oh, this is really neat. And yeah, I started playing it for myself, and for many years afterwards, my family friend's father would ask me whether I'd actually finished it. And I'd always say no, because it took me many years to finish. Not for any particular reason. I guess I think I got lost in the world too much, just wandering around and exploring things, rather than actually focusing on finishing it. I have finished it. I finished all of them. All of the Black Isle RPGs. So, you know, this is not blind or anything like that. Yeah. We are going to be playing the original Baldur's Gate version. This is not the enhanced edition. This is because of my own nostalgia for it. This is Baldur's Gate as I played it back in 98 and onwards. This is actually, for the most part, going to be running off my own CDs of this. This is going to be to the detriment of the game at some point, because my CDs are quite scratched. Baldur's Gate 1 came in a cardboard sleeve for me, which you put the CDs in. This is not conducive to long-term CD integrity. I store them in better cases now, but the damage has been done. Some of them are so scratched that it will cause problems. I have another burned series of CDs, which will help me get past it. That should, if it has problems loading, when it has problems loading, there should not be a problem for quite a few series. I'll be able to find where they are, where they all are in the meantime. Yeah. Anyway. Let me load this up here. And we'll watch the intro cutscene, because that's a major reason why I'm playing this version, because I really like the cinematics of the original game. I don't really like the cinematics they did for the enhanced edition. Okay. Still a fantastic intro. I really like that. That's why I was annoyed when they changed it. They have like a slideshow thingy, the enhanced edition. Anyway. I'll try not to go on about that one too much. I appreciate the work which they put into it, but... And it's nice having some new features in it and all that, but I just like this version. I believe this is patched. This is not just straight off of the CDs. I was tempted to play it, the original, like, 1.0 straight off the CDs version, but... And again, that's mostly because that's how I played it. It was, unpatched, and that means that there was bugs. There's probably going to be bugs anyway, because the game can have issues with it sometimes. But they're part of the game, because they're worked into things. So yeah, let's see. One of the other things I would kind of want to do during this is... I have the manual here, the Mighty Tome. Though I think the Neverwinter Nights manual actually surpassed it in terms of thickness. And there is a lot of little lore excerpts and story bits in here. Explaining the different areas which you go to, commentary by Elminster and Volo, and all that. So I might actually refer to this every now and then and read out sections of it, depending on how my voice holds out. Because there is not much voice acting in this game. I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of talking. Let's start a new game. We will play as a female, and we'll choose this, and we're going to be playing as a gnome. Our class is going to be a multi-class. We're going to be playing as a fighter illusionist. This being AD&D, races have limits on what classes they can choose. There is no difference between male and female. That doesn't have any effect on your stats, unlike earlier games like Pool of Radiance. Thankfully, that was put aside. But there's still lots of restrictions based on what race you're playing and what class you can choose. This is eased up in Baldur's Gate 2. One of the things I was holding out on was I was tempted to play this game using the BG22 mod, which is essentially it takes Baldur's Gate 1 and ports it to the Baldur's Gate 2 engine with the updated AD&D rules Baldur's Gate 2 uses. This means that there's more classes available, there's less restrictions for races, which classes they can choose, there's more spells, and just other things like that. We're not doing that, partly because I want to play the game as it was again when I originally played it. Mostly because I couldn't get 2.2 working. I tried several times over the years to actually get it installed and running properly. I followed the installations for it. I'm sorry. I've gotten it working in the past. The issue here is that because I have the original version of Baldur's Gate, it does not come with Tales of the Sword Coast. So I get lost in installing 2.2 when it's asking for the expansion for Baldur's Gate. Because I have Baldur's Gate 1, I have Baldur's Gate 2, and Throne of Baal, but I don't have Tales of the Sword Coast, so I get a bit lost when it comes to the installation in that part there. I don't know. I could have probably spent a bit more time in the intervening time to sort it out, but if I keep putting this off, I'll never get around to it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what we're doing. We're doing this. It also helps highlight some other things that I wanted to show off with the game. Drawbacks with the game. This game is by no means a perfect game. I really enjoy it. That's a lot of nostalgia. There's something special about the first time you play a game like this with an epic storyline. It stays with you. Knights of the Old Republic 1 is kind of the same way for that reason, because it's got a cool storyline the first time you experience that type of story. But there are a lot of drawbacks to this game. Alignment. I'm tempted to play an evil character. I believe there is a YouTuber who does multiple playthroughs of Baldur's Gate. I cannot remember the name of their channel. I apologize. They are very skilled at Baldur's Gate. And I believe they say that it is actually beneficial to play through as an evil character because you get better NPCs. You have a stronger party. I think that's true. However, I'm probably going to be playing as a good character because being evil, aside from the characters you get, I feel has the potential to break the game in a lot of ways. There is a reputation system in the game where as you do good deeds, you get positive reputation up to, I think, 20. And when you do evil acts, you get negative reputation down to -20. This comes with positives and negatives. Reputation 20, a maximum. Oh no, it's not to -20, it's to 2. Okay, so it's from 2 to 20. With 10 to 14 being neutral. So, reputation 20, which is as positive as it can be, you get a 50% discount for every item you purchase in a store. At reputation 3, you get plus 100% cost to all items which you purchase in a store. At 2, stores will not sell you items. And I believe also you get guards showing up on the map to kill you every time you transition to a new area. There is also other issues with this, in that you can have reputation 20 and good characters will stay with you. When you get to 2 reputation, a number of the evil NPCs will actually leave your party because you're too evil for them. Not that you have to go full evil, you can stay around like, 7 or something. It's not a requirement, but I feel like having positive reputation is a lot easier than negative reputation. You can preface this by, I think you don't really purchase too many items from stores, so I guess the cost of stores don't really come into effect, but I know that some of the actions can, I think, cause problems with NPCs attacking you, and that can cause like cascades where plot important characters end up attacking you and messing things up. So we'll just choose true neutral. Now, since we're a fighter mage, fighter illusionist, restrictions to classes. Gnomes can be mages, but they can only be illusionists. What this means is that we get bonuses for casting illusion spells. Gnomes can choose this multi-class, but become fighter illusionists by default. Gnomes are the only race that can combine a specialist mage class in a multi-class. If we go to race here, we choose human. We go to class, mage, specialist mage, actually. You have all these different specialist mage classes. These give you bonuses to cast spells of that area. So like Conjurer, you get a bonus to summoning spells which involve summoning creature spells and things like that. I think for classes which cast debuffs on other characters, you get an I think you get a bonus to being able to affect someone else with a spell for that class, and I think you get a save you get a bonus save versus spell of maybe +5 for spells which are of your specialization. So if you're an illusionist, you get a bonus versus illusion spells if they cast on you, or if you're going to be affected by them. Anyway, we'll choose gnome. Class, fighter illusionist. Oh right, because you have to click on specialist there. We could be just an illusionist, but I want to be a multi-class. So it'll be a fighter illusionist. Alignment to neutral. Abilities. Right, so we need strength and intelligence, primarily. Okay. Drop wisdom. I guess bump strength up a bit. I think dexterity helps you with your stats. But we'll move these around a bit. There we go. I don't mean to play a perfect character or anything like that. any of my role-playing games. I'm not too focused on the skills. I'm not too fussed by them. I can't remember whether we have to use longswords as a two-handed weapon because we're a gnome. I know that's a thing in Neverwinter Nights, but I don't remember whether that's a thing in Baldur's Gate. Can I quickly find out about that in here? Nope. Okay, never mind. Well, we'll choose bow. It doesn't have armor here, so I guess short sword, long sword, and I guess we'll put another point into bow, because bows will be useful. Ranged weapons are very effective early on. They deal a lot of damage. Mage spells. One of the other restrictions, I believe, because we're an illusionist, is that we always have to choose a illusion spell per level. We get like an extra slot for a spell per level, but that slot has to be used up by what's it called? It has to be an illusion spell. Second edition stats need to be 15 or higher to record to have a modifier. Okay. I might. Let's see. We'll do some rerolls. Hey, look. 1849 strength. Sure. Wisdom is 17, so we'll bump that down. Bump our intellect up by 17. There we go. We can put our intellect up to 19. How high can that go? 19. Okay. That's not too much hit points. I guess I can put wisdom down and... There we go. 18, 0 to 1 to 49 are the same. Is it like an extra bonus on top of it? I'm not too sure what it means. Because I know you can get 1899, but I don't think we can get that as a gnome. Let me just have a look. There's going to be referring to manuals. This is not going to be a fast playthrough. As the great music blares in our ears over and over again. Let me just have a look. Also, because this is not the enhanced edition, this is going to be low resolution. Like 800 by 600 or something. That's how it was. I have no qualms with that. I could probably add a mod which increases the resolution, but I'm not fussed by it. You're gonna have to come along for the trip with me with that. It's more for games which I don't have nostalgia for. I'm more willing to do that, but yeah. Let me just have a look here. Sorry if I come off as mean with that. I don't mean to be. If you wish to do things like that, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm more just being funny with it. Let's see. Okay, so 18, 1 to 50. Hit adjustment is +1, damage adjustment is +3, bashing is 25%. I don't know, maybe there is a restriction on what's it called? On race with that. Let's just re-roll and see if I can get 1814. Let's see if I can get 1800. 1881. Okay. It's actually a bit better. I'm pretty sure 1899 is the 1800 is the highest you can get, or 99. Some point. 17? No. 1864, 1803. Whatever. Recall. That's fine. I think dexterity does come into your armor class, which would probably be more useful to us than constitution. So if I dump charisma down, like, we don't need charisma. We're a fighter mage. We don't need to look pretty. If I bump up strength, how does it change? I cannot increase it any further. That's how it changes. Store button might be useful. Store just keeps all the stats like this. I can't recall a specific stat and then choose like the best out of all of them. Does it impact the party size or chat options? I don't think so. Your party could always be 6 as far as I remember. Chat options, I don't think there's persuasion or anything like that in Baldur's Gate. So I believe that will always be the same regardless of what your character is. There's no like stupid lines or anything like that in this. Kind of want to bump up those some more. Let me have a look. I want to have a look at the stats to see what the minimum ones are for modifying other abilities, other skills. Let's see, where are... experience tables. Okay, so if we have Charisma 7, that gives us a -1 to reaction adjustment. People will just dislike us a bit more. I think I can live with that. Wisdom of 6. That's going to give us spell failure. I'll store this and I'll reroll. We don't have to have a huge strength. I mean, we're a fighter mage. Later on, we'll probably become more of a frontline fighter, but early on, eh. If I could just get like a bunch of... That's pretty good. No, that's still going to... Okay, so what minimum wisdom do we need to not get any penalties? Now that I'm looking at these, I'm actually worrying about them. 13 for no spell failure. And we can have other people fill in some of these gaps for us, so... Oh, hang on. No, okay, never mind. No, that's not enough. What's the charisma? I could drop charisma down to 8. There we go. That's actually pretty good. 18, 14. Our strength is slightly higher than normal. I mean, it's slightly higher than fantastic. Because, you know, 18, whatever. 18 is already much stronger than the norm. What spells? Magic missile. What's armor do? As if it was scale mail. AC 6. Oh boy, we're going to be using Thaco. Spell failure or wisdom should be priest only. That's what I think, but it doesn't have a slot for spell failure on intelligence. It just lists spell level, percentage to learn spell, max spell level, and lore bonus. What's dexterity? Let's see. Okay, we get a -1 because we're 15 dexterity. We get a -1 to our AC. As I was going to say, because it's not a thing. Well then. Maybe I will modify that. We're going to be sitting here for quite a while. I'm glad people who know this better than me are here. What? That wasn't what my skills were. Ugh. Fine. Whatever. No, I want one of the funny strength. Come on. 1888. There we go. Bump that down. Wisdom of 5. Sure, why not? There we go. We're not wise at all. Okay, so we're gonna get magic missile. Some of these spells I do like color spray. They're not very effective, but I always like that they have random effects. Sleep in this, I believe, is a single target. One or more creatures. All creatures to be affected by sleep spell must be within 30 feet of each other. Oh, okay, so it is actually a effect. Sleep has been really useful in previous games, so we might actually take that. What's this? Shield, I think, is only against spells. It sets a wizard armor class to 4 against all weapons and 2 against missile weapons. Okay. And then this gives us AC of 6. But we can wear... No, we can't wear armor because if we're wearing armor, I believe we can't cast spells. So shield would be useful for us. That means we'd have AC of 5. If we have this, that puts our AC to 4, which is better. But I think this lasts for 5 turns. This lasts for 9 hours, so it lasts a lot longer. Grease is good for disabling enemies. Identify will be useful, but we can get Identify early on, so I'm not too fast about that. Chromatic Orb. I like that spell a lot also, because it's random effects and it gets more powerful once you level up. Not very useful, though, because of random effects. Larlock's Minor Drain. We can't actually get that. That's a Necromancy spell, so I can't click on it. We cannot take spells in Necromancy school. That's alright, though. There's not really too many spells there which are useful. Charm Person, I guess that could be useful, but we can get that later. I don't want grease. We'll pretty much end up with all spells anyway, so I'll get armor. And we'll learn magic missile and armor early on. Right. This is partly why I wanted to choose the gnome, a female gnome in particular. This is to show the downside of Baldur's Gate in that some of the class races are not fully realized. When you play as a female dwarf or gnome, they do not have their own sprite. It just uses the male dwarf sprite. If I had Tutu installed, this would not be a problem. But there's not really anything bigger, deeper than that than just I wanted to show that that was a problem at the time. One of the flaws of Baldur's Gate. It's just how it was. Let's choose blue and... I don't know. Yeah, what about the purple? There we go.
All will die. Your life shall be mine. Death will come swiftly, Roy.
To battle!
Your life shall be mine.
To battle!
I guess we'll choose that. What did they used to wear beards? It just got out of fashion in two. I did think you could say that for the dwarves, the female dwarves just wear beards. So, whatever. They can wear what they want. I don't have a name. Dwarves, yes. Gnomes, no. Maybe. You don't know. Have you seen any gnomes? I don't have a name. There we go. Pheak. Midge.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
Okay. Let me read a little bit from the menu here, because there is a bit about Candlekeep here. Candlekeep. I understand your home is Candlekeep, so you probably remember more about it than I do, my friend. All apologies for any errors follow. The Citadel of Learning stands on a volcanic crag overlooking the sea. It is a many-towered fortress, once the home of the famous seer Orlando, and it preserves his predictions along with all the written records and learning of the realms that can be assembled. Candlekeep is certainly no tourist resort, but there is a store, a temple, and a fair inn here. The price for most travelers to enter the keep proper is a book. Those wishing to examine any writings in the keep's library must gift Candlekeep with a new tome of no less than 10,000 gold pieces value. This applies to you as well. Even though you called the keep home for many years, the monks make few exceptions, and only their true membership is exempt from the entrance fee. It was apparently Gorion's influence alone that allowed you free access. Such strict enforcement of a rule is simply not to my taste. Follow. Volothamp is like a traveling reporter, rogue type character in Forgotten Realms. He's like written little excerpts, or they've written little excerpts as a character in the journal, in the manual. The monks of Candlekeep, who claim to be non-denominational and call themselves the Avowed, also purchase certain books brought to them and even commission agents in great secrecy to procure writings they desire. Those who wish to browse in the library must normally be sponsored by a known mage of power, so many books given to Candlekeep in payment are minor spellbooks. This community is ruled by the Keeper of the Tomes, assisted by the first reader, the second in authority, and traditionally the most learned sage of the monastery. There are up to 8 great readers under these 2 officers, who are assisted by the chanter, the guide, and the gate warden. The chanter leads the endless chant of Orlando's prophecies, spelled in this duty by 3 assistants, the voice of the north, south, and east. The guide is in charge of teaching acolytes, and the gate warden deals with visitors, the security of, and supplies for the community, as well as the clergy. Oh, and with the clergy. The central, highest fortress of the keep is surrounded by a terraced rock garden of many trees. There are rumours of vast dungeons beneath the keep, dating from ancient times, when they were used as burial chambers for the wisest scribes. Except in rare cases, no visitor can remain in Candlekeep for more than 10 days at a time, or enter the monastery less than a month after leaving it. Order in the keep is kept by the gate warden's 5 under-officers, 4 watchers, and the keeper of the portal, all 5 of whom have a force of armed monks as assistants. The seekers are the lowest monks. They research and fetch and carry. Above them are the scribes, who copy out works or compile books to sell for various sources in the library. The chief source of income for the community. Above the scribes are the chanter and the readers. The current keeper of the tomes is Ulrunt, a proud and haughty minor mage. The current first reader, Teftoril, is often mistaken by visitors for the keeper because of his intelligent, regal, and sensitive demeanor. Candlekeep has but one absolute rule. Those who destroy knowledge with ink, fire, or sword are themselves destroyed. Here, books are more valuable than people. Okay. And here we are. So I can show the graphics. I did have some issues with the visuals. When I put the color depth up to 32, it caused a odd issue with the fog of war in the game. It like it wasn't tiling correctly, or like it wasn't being rotated correctly. This was fixed by keeping it on 16 color depth, as well as putting on software transparent BLT. So yeah. Other options. Gameplay. Tooltip delay, blah, blah, blah. Difficulty is middle. Did always score. Group infravision, because I like it. It lets you see. If you have a character who has infravision, if this is off, you have to select them specifically to highlight every living creature in red in the visual in the screen. It just helps with like seeing creatures behind walls a bit. With this on, even if you have your entire party selected, that will show up in red as well. I haven't changed anything else in there. Let's make a save. There we go. Okay, so here we are. We have our staff and nothing else. We have our AC of 9 there, 7 hit points. Not very high for a fighter, but it's better than I've had. I once had a mage who had 3 hit points, or 2 hit points. That was difficult. I think 7's actually not too bad for a level 1 character. Yeah, I think you can get up to like 16 or something, but yeah. We can carry 280 pounds. And we have our gold up there. Our colors here, which we can change whatever. And we have our journal. Character sheet. Information there. Powerful vanquished enemy. Time spent with the party, 0 hours. Favorite spell, we haven't cast any. Favorite weapon, haven't used any. And other stats. And biography. This is about our character. I think... Nope, you can't actually rewrite it. It's basically what we know already. What was said in the prologue. Each character does have their own biography written in there. Customized. You can change everything here. You can also give scripts. This is for the AI to work off of. I don't use these, so we'll keep that we'll keep that empty, and you can export the character. which will be useful when I'm showing off something a bit later. I click here. Candlekeep in.
Indeed.
Let's go in here. Hello. We have these monks here. These are tutors. They are like walking tutorials.
It is done.
Child, shall we continue your lessons?
Buy items by talking to the keeper of a store or inn. You can also rest your party by renting a room. Try to hear a few rumors over a mug of ale, or attempt a little shoplifting. I've never actually been successful at that. In the buy sell screen, items that the currently selected character cannot use due to class limitations or weapon proficiencies will be tinted red, though others in your party may have a use for them. Okay. I know basically everything, so I'm not really going to talk to them.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
Let's talk to Winthrop. Hello there, young one. Come to visit your old pal Winthrop, have you? Don't forget the 5,000 gold piece book entrance fee as per Candlekeep custom, don't you know? 3 options. I fear I do not have that kind of entry fee with me. I suppose I shall return when I do. You always were the big kid of Winthrop. That gets funnier very nearly every time I hear it. Well, perhaps not quite so often. This is outrageous. What kind of a fool do you take me for? Stuff you're in and stuff your company. Ever the humorless brat you always were, it's but for the reputation you father that I give you endless chances to redeem your manner. I will tolerate you here today, but bother me not.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We can talk to him immediately afterwards. No hard feelings. Right. Let's see, 130 gold. We will get more. I might hold on to that until a bit later after we've done some quests here, because we'll be doing all the quests around to get as much gold as possible. Though I don't know whether I'd want to spend a lot of money on items. There's kind of a reason for that. When we get told about it, I'll elaborate on it. Now, apparently I can use two-handed swords, so that shouldn't be a problem. Let's see, long swords are like 1d8. Right, bastard swords are 2d4. So they have chances of doing less damage. But they do like the same maximum. Well, hang on. Minimum of 2. Minimum of 1. Maximum of 8. Yeah, so a bastard sword is better. But it costs a bit more. I'll just get a long sword. Whatever. Arrows. They stack to 20. 1 gold piece each. Well, I guess we'll get some. A bow is useful. Since we're a mage, we can't wear armor. But we can use a shield. I'll get a large shield since it provides the, I think the most. Armor class bonus 1 versus missiles. Yeah, so medium shield only provides an armor class bonus. It doesn't provide bonus versus missiles. There's a variety of different shield designs. We'll just get, like, this one. And we'll get a helmet, because a helmet protects against critical hits. So, there. We can rent a room. They have peasant, merchant, noble, or royal. Going up in cost for each one. You rest better in a more expensive room. I think it takes less time to heal up or something like that. Different drinks here. You can get intoxicated. Comes with penalties. And here's the stealing menu. But we're not a thief, so we can't steal. Let's put the sword on. Let's put the shield on. Put the helmet on, and we'll put the bow, the arrows in there.
My as clean as an elven arse.
Okay. We'll buy some more arrows, and I'll get a bow. Do I want to get a long bow later on, or do I just want to get a short bow? Longbow has a +1 to hit. Composite bow has a +2 damage. Short bow has no to hit bonus. But we have a +2 proficiency with bows, so we'll get a short bow. Whatever. We'll be able to afford one later. And I cannot equip it because we have a shield on. Baldur's Gate is old like that. If we want to switch our weapon to a bow, we have to go into our inventory, which will unpause the game.
Your concern?
Game is no longer paused on this screen. We'll have to unequip our shield and equip our bow. And then if we want to switch back, we have to unequip the bow and then put the shield in there. Oh boy, old games.
Yes?
And we can't put the quarterstaff there because it doesn't automatically unequip the shield, so...
I am here. It is done.
Anyway. Here is a mage over here. I believe... Yeah, Firebead Elven
It's
here.
hard to find decent folk nowadays.
Ah, yes, I'm back within the hallowed halls of Candlekeep. With its iron crisis upon us, the trip from Baragost was more hazardous than I care to relate. You're Gorion's ward, aren't you? My, you've come into your own, if you would permit an old man jealous of youth to say so. I left an identify scroll with Tethtoril in the inner grounds. He should be done examining it for now, so if you could fetch it for me, I'd be grateful. Firebead Elven here, an old mage who makes the occasional visit here from Baragost, has left an identify scroll with Tethtoril in the inner grounds. I swear, without me to run its endless errands, this keep would crumble into the very dust from which it sprung. There is a lot of personality within these journal entries. I do like that. So we can learn to identify this way. I don't remember whether it's more beneficial to give it to him or not. I guess you get experience for it, but we can learn to identify earlier on if we learn it from the scroll.
No time to chit-chat.
Hello. I'm sorry, but my wife and I would like some time alone. Isn't that right, Lovey?
A pleasure to meet a socially acceptable person such as yourself.
Yeah, she won't say anything.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse. My hotel's as clean as an...
Does he say...
You're not mercenaries, are you? I hate those money-grubbing scum. My rooms are the best kept on the Sword Coast. My hotel's as clean
There we
as
go.
an elven arse.
They do have extra dialogue when you right-click on them a few times. This is locked. We could potentially steal something from here. Let me just try this. There we go. Ooh, there's some scrolls in here. There is a Infravision scroll, a armor scroll, and 18 gold. Nobody saw me do that. Good. If nobody sees you, it's not a crime. This is where the game's a little wonky sometimes, because you see there's some sleeping people up here. I'm pretty sure they can catch you, even though they're asleep. Yep, maybe not. I'm positive they've actually caught me stealing before, but yeah, well, whatever. Maybe someone, like, hears you stealing, or hears you trying to force the lock. Doop-a-doo. Ooh, there's a potion in here. Potion of Clarity. What's that do? This is another thing I really like in Baldur's Gate. All the items have these little sketches of them here, which I really like. Later ones, they actually have the image of the item up here instead. But I always like these little drawings they had instead. This potion will maintain clarity and order from encroaching chaos and insanity. After drinking this potion, the imbiber feels an overwhelming feeling of calm and purpose, such that he will be unaffected by threatening influences such as feeble mind, confusion, and charm. This feeling will last for the duration of the enchantment or until dispelled. 5 turns. Prevents feeble mind, confusion, fear, and charm. There you go. Guess you can put that on there. We also got this necklace, silver necklace. This is generic. It says about all of them. A necklace is a piece of ornamental metal jewelry, usually made of silver, gold, platinum, or other precious metals, and adorned with gems. A necklace is always worn on the neck, and can be of any length. I think it means there in terms of, like, game rules. So yeah, we'll probably just sell that, though, for some extra gold.
Your concern?
They don't care where the items come from.
Indeed.
There's no, like, ownership of an item once you have it in your inventory.
Don't touch me.
Hello.
I might catch something.
Yes? Might I help you? Sorry to have disturbed you. Wrong room, I fear. My apologies. I have been knee-deep in the tombs of the keep all day, and I am quite the fog as a result. Yes, indeed, you might help me to your valuables. I was just wondering who else was sharing the inn with me tonight. Who might you be? I might, well, very well be anyone. But I am Christian of Waterdeep. Likely you would not know my family name or history, and this suits me well and good. These trips to Candlekeep are a bit of an extravagance on my part, and while I use no illicit substances or neither consort with hired company, I spend quite enough here that I should not like it common knowledge. To this end, I should appreciate it if you would forego your odd little attempt at introductions and leave me to my thoughts. Fine, whatever. I'll leave you alone. There's another guy up there.
Away with you, beggar.
Oh yeah. Who are you? My name is Quincy. Beyond that is my own business, and none of your concern. Leave, lest I report you this intrusion to the guard. There's apparently something up in here too. Okay. That is locked. Failed to force the lock. What is this? My mighty strength! No! Gasp! Shock horror. I cannot force that lock. Amazing. Oh well. I guess you have to pick it.
Indeed.
My
Hey there,
hotel's
Winthrop.
as clean as an elven arse.
Hi, something to sell you. Don't question where it came from. 5 gold pieces. That's fine. You might be able to pickpocket some items off of people in there. I'm going to miss a lot of items like that, since I haven't done, like, thorough playthroughs of finding all the items to pickpocket off of people. Oh, right. Let's turn off the AI there. This is for AI control. Not that we have a party yet, but, you know. Okay. These are little... I don't know. Altars or something? They're not important. And we can't get up here. It's like a house on stilts there. We'll just wander around here. We'll go see Gorion first. Before we do some other things here. There's no time limit. The inner grounds.
Hey, it's me, Emmoen.
Oh, hello. I'm surprised that stuffy old Gorion let you away from your studies and chores. That old fiddle-faddle I snuck off too. Old Puffguts Winthrop was looking for me, but I've got all day to do his chores. You have time for a story today? No, I can tell you don't. What have you been up to? I'm afraid I cannot chat today, little one. My foster father wishes me to prepare for a journey, but will not say to where. I'm sorry, child, but I'm not to tell anyone what I am doing. I must go. You should not tarry either. Winthrop will want the beds turned down after you are done in the stables. Leave me be. I've no time to waste on you today, child. Most of the dialogue goes like this. It's like nice, middle, and then, you know, just being mean. This is back when, like, evil just means being a dick to everyone. Yeah, I don't know. My foster father wishes me to prepare for a journey, but will not say to where. Little one, I'm not much younger than you, though you sure got tall fast, relatively anyway. I think that might be a bit of a unique dialogue, based on your chosen race. A journey, eh? I never get to travel. Wish I could go with you. Yep, really wish I could. Yes, sir, really do. Alright, I get the message. I'll ask if you can go with us. There's no way you can come. Gorion would never allow it. You would only slow us down. Stay here where you're useful. I don't know. I'll ask if you can come with us. Oh, don't be silly. Gorion would never even let you finish the sentence, especially after what that letter of his said. Did I say that? No, of course I didn't. Never saw no letter. Nope. I'll just get back to work now. You'd better go. You better go. Gorion is waiting. Okay, she knows a little bit more than she's letting on. Here's Gorion.
You must learn to be patient, child.
No Peter Cummings.
Oh, my child, I am glad I have found you.
This is very unnerving. I know, but you must trust me. It is very important that you pack your possessions so that we may leave Candlekeep immediately. Hurry, for there is no time to tarry. The keep is well protected, but not invulnerable. I'm ready to go now. Just wait a little longer. There are a few more things I must do. Please, Father, tell me where we're going. What could possibly harm us here? This place is a fortress and guarded beyond measure. What should I bring with me on this journey? If you would just give some clues as to what I will need. Hello, welcome. I made a dwarf. No, we're playing as a gnome. A fighter illusionist gnome. Also welcome. Tell me where we're going. Alas, I cannot, for I have not truly decided yet. All that is certain is that we will be far safer on the move. Perhaps a wood might offer some secluded security. Or perhaps the city of Baldur's Gate would offer cover amidst its teeming throngs of people. I do not know where we shall end up, but I have a few friends here and there. I will think on this. What could possibly harm us here? Candlekeep is indeed a formidable obstacle for ne'er-do-wells, but it is not insurmountable. No matter how thick the mesh, at least one mosquito always finds its way through. No, my child, we must leave as soon as possible, for our safety, and for that of our friends here. What should I bring with me on this journey? If you'll just give me some clues as to what I will need. My dear child, you should know yourself well enough to purchase the gear you need. I have given you what I can spare, so hurry off to the inn and speak with Winthrop. Use your skills as a reference, and buy what basics you must, though spend wisely. His prices are fair, but you may not have enough gold to purchase all that you would want. We can save quite a bit of money because I can't wear really rare armor. Yep, there's a few more things I want to do.
Everything will be explained to you in time. I'm too old for this. We have very little time.
We can't go in here. Locked. Let me try something. If I force the lock here. Okay. I'm surprised that he didn't become hostile to me. OG version or EE? This is the original version. Running off of my CD. So. About as original as you can get.
Greetings,
Hello.
young one.
Tethril. Firebeard has sent you to me, hasn't he? Very well. Return this scroll to him, but then you must hurry and speak with Gorion. He is waiting for you on the steps of the central library. I assure you, child, it is a matter of greatest urgency. Yeah, this is what I played growing up, so I'm nostalgic for it. And I didn't like that the enhanced edition changed the cutscenes, because I like the 3D cutscenes in the original version. I don't like that they changed that. Other changes I'm fine with. It's just that, really. I had thought about playing the 2.2 version of this, but I couldn't get it working, so I decided I'd just go with the original. Hello.
But in his doom he shall spawn a score of mortal progeny. Chaos will be sown from their passage. So saith the wise Alondo.
In the year of the turrets, a great host will come from the east like a plague of locusts. So saith the wise Alondo.
The Lord of Murder shall
I don't know whether these other guys are talking about something which is actually, like, relevant to any other stories. Anyway. Again, I've played through this before, so...
I should enjoy it.
Oh, great, it's raining. I was in one of the great spires of the keep last night and saw the strangest sight. The horizon was aglow for a time, as though many a men carried torches in the distance. Usually there are only merchants on that path, though never at night. Bandits, perhaps, but so many? I always thought Tethril would just stand over here. He wouldn't walk around, but oh well.
I am very proud of you.
Heretic Gorion, and listen well.
I'm sure Gorion is.
But without knowledge, life is a mere shadow of death. Okay. Oh, my voice is already hurting a little. Doesn't help. I decided to do like half an hour explanation and all that at the beginning. Let's go down here.
Our rules are
Here we go.
very strict.
Soon be gone, will you? Gorion asked me to teach you a wit about the finer arts of mass combat before you leave. Can I pique your interest with it, Pheak? Yeah, I would appreciate that. Good then, child. 'Tis one thing to maintain control of yourself in the heat of battle, but 'tis quite another to maintain one's authority over a group. I asked Obe the Illusionist to run through a few simulations for you down in the storage cellars. Just follow me this way and I'll unlock the door for you. Okay. And he'll disappear, I believe.
Our library is a reservoir of human knowledge.
There you be, Pheak. If you haven't trained with Obe yet, then the door's wide open and all you need to do is drag your cursor over top of it. If you've already done your training, then you should go see Gorion. Your father is anxious to see you. And then he poofs out of existence. Let's go down here. This is combat training.
Is only possessed by the learned.
Pheak, the gate warden asked me to prepare a little going away party for you. A bit of mass combat practice is in order, I believe. Well, I'll make it real simple for you. Canderous, Mordain, Arcanus, Dida, and Osprey are all going to join your party. And it occurred to me when I was reading this later, and someone's comment I saw, is that Canderous here, they later used that name for Canderous Ordo in Knights of the Old Republic. Mordain, isn't there a mage called that? Arcanus? That sounds familiar as well, but I'm not sure why. Dida and Osprey I don't think are too familiar to me. Arcanus. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if they're references to other things or not, but you'll have complete control over them, same as you will with anyone else who might join you in your coming travels. Once they've all joined your party, I'm going to summon in several illusions of common monsters you might encounter outside the safety of this keep. These illusions will attack the party, and it will be up to you to issue the necessary orders to dispose of them. Remember, these creatures are illusions, and they won't be able to hurt you. Try your best to kill them, however, because in the real world, pain, harm, and even death are far more real. Getting into bugs with this game, I remember distinctly one time I played this. One of my characters, maybe even my main character, got injured by one of these creatures here. I don't know how, but I lost a hit point. That hit point I was not able to heal back later on when I rest, even if I cast spells on my character. It was just like a hit point was gone, and it would show the little damage line up here. But I couldn't heal it back. I don't know what caused it. But, yeah. I've never had any characters die in here, but, that was just like a little bit of weirdness which happened once in this game. Some of your comrades will have magic items such as potions and wands. You'll have to equip these in the quick slots of the characters who have them. Some of them also have spells. You can cast these during the battle. Remember, even thieves and fighters can benefit from a good understanding of these more arcane forms of combat. 1 HP, you weren't a mage because then you would die. It was like 1 out of 6. It was like I lost 1 hit point out of 6. Pardon. I meant I took 1 hit point of damage. But it was like permanent damage my character had taken because I took it during this training session and you're not supposed to get hurt. So, I don't know, it like bugged the game or something. So it's just like I had 5 out of 6 hit points afterwards or something. But I couldn't heal the health back. Every so often, I will ask you if you've had enough. If you have, then I shall teleport you back outside. If you wish to continue practicing, however, then I shall create some more illusions for you to fight. Are you ready then? Good, here we go. Hold on.
It is done.
Let's, pause. So we have our extra party members here.
I need a
Hello there.
swig
Yes,
of some
hello.
strong dwarven ale. I need a
You can actually
swig
see-
of some strong dwarven ale.
There is a bit of a bug with the green border around it. It's supposed to be completely around the character's portrait, but for some reason it's only showing up on this half of it. If that's the least issue I can get, then yeah. You remembered you had a mage with 1 hit point here? I've had a mage with 1 or 2 hit points before. I have another funny story about that, which I'll talk about later. If my voice holds out. But yeah, anyway. They actually have items on them. Some of them are magical items. There is something you could do with that.
Yes?
There is some
It
stuff
is done.
scattered around here as well, so... Gibblings.
I need a swig
Here.
of some strong
It is
dwarven
done.
Pick the lock, please.
Yes, friend?
Hello there.
I need a swig of some strong dwarven
Your kit is done.
Again, they can't hurt us.
Yes, friend?
Hello there.
Did you pick it? Lockpick failed.
Hey,
Oh, that combat music. There we go. Succeeded. Nothing in it. Actually, there might only be one thing in here.
I am here.
Tactics. Just mob them. Another thing in Baldur's Gate 1, there is no highlight items for chests and so on. You just have to mouse over them.
It is done.
So it's easy to miss things. Nothing in there. I think there is something in one of these, but...
Your indeed.
Obe down there will talk to us as soon as we see him. So if I'm up here, he won't actually, like, be on screen to talk with us. I like how they had the pre-rendered backgrounds for these areas. What's select entire party? Control A? No, that's, okay, A is that. Is there a shortcut for selecting the entire party? Do I have it in the manual here? This game also has a multiplayer mode, which I've never actually played. One person takes a part of the main character, and the other people are sort of like members of your party. I wonder how well that works. I think you all have to be in the same area. You can't, like, explore different areas at the same time and all that. Nothing there. Pathing is a little
Yes?
dumb in this.
I am here. Your
I
concern.
need a
Yes,
swig
friend?
of some
Hello?
strong dwarven ale.
Okay, go pick that. Pick it. Please. You can't pick
Yes,
it.
it is
Okay.
done.
We'll force it. If possible.
I am here.
Okay, fine. Never mind.
Certainly.
I didn't know what was in there any dang way. There might actually be something in there, but whatever. Okay, there's another chest down here. Can I open this one?
It is done.
Nope.
Yes?
Let's
Certainly.
go over here. Okay, let's have a look at our character's inventories here. So, Arcanus here has a fancy helmet. He has a medium shield, some chainmail. He has
Wisdom
an axe.
is only possessed by the learned.
Bring on some more monsters. Good! I'll create some more illusionary monsters. This time I'll create some Zvats. Zvats are primarily mountain-dwelling creatures, but they can be often found on the coastway. Also, if you'd like to use that wand in Osprey's possession, missing an S, then simply right-click on this icon in her inventory. This will bring up a description of the wand. There will be a button on the bottom of that page that says Identify. Press that button to identify the wand, and you will be able to place it in Osprey's quick item slot, where she can make use of it in combat. Whenever a mage in your party has the Identify spell memorized, just remember to put the item in his inventory. Repeat the instructions that I've given you. I like Zvats. I like the lore about them, that they're all, like, clones of their god or something who created them as duplicates to put people off his trail. Also, I like that Baldur's Gate used Zvats instead of goblins. Went with something which isn't as common. Just because it's like, oh, it's a bit more interesting. Even though they're basically just blue goblins, but whatever. Okay, so Canderous, he actually has plate mail, and he has a shield here. Ooh, Identify. What's that mean?
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
Going to create some skeletons. Try to hold them at bay using Osprey's Turn Undead ability. To do this, just press down on the skull item that appears on her toolbar. Right.
Hello there.
I need a swig of some
I am here.
strong dwarven ale.
Toolbar down here. You can actually customize this a fair amount. I believe you can change any of the icons down here as you wish, but this goes into my memorized spells. Here's my spell book here. Our character stats for people who wish to know.
Hello there.
Canderous is a paladin, I believe. Oh, he's a cleric. Okay. Does he have a biography? No. He is a nobody. There's Turn Undead. Spells he has: Entangle, Bless, and Command, which I think it's like Command Die, which will actually just put a single unit to sleep. He also has Lay on Hands, a light healing spell.
Friend?
Osprey here is a cleric mage. Okay. So she has, Identify, Magic Missile, Entangle, and Command Word Sleep or Die again. And also Blur, or Invisibility.
Hello.
Mordain is a mage. He has Magic Missile, Burning Hands, and Chromatic Orb. And also Slow Poison, I think. Yeah. Hello, welcome, Kibbits. Yep, Baldur's Gate. Finally getting around to doing this.
Hey,
And, Dieter here is a thief. Is he just a thief? Fighter thief. So he can actually wear armor. Or wield different weapons. But yeah, he has Find Traps, Thieving, which is like Pickpocket or Unlock Item, depending on what you're hovering over. And also Stealth, where he attempts to hide in the shadows.
hello there.
So if we go over here and use Turn Undead,
Yes,
It
friend?
won't turn any of the undead. There we go. You see the little sparkles go off of them.
Hello there.
Oh, they're scattering. Go after them.
Hello.
Come on. Chromatical. Wham. Magic missile. There we go. They're actually going after targets on their own, so.
I am here.
Friend?
Let's see. Was it you who had the identify spell? Yes, it was. Can we sleep in here?
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
He's creating kobolds. They have bows.
Your concern?
He doesn't actually wait for you to kill all the enemies. Let's move away from him, otherwise he's going to keep talking to us.
Hello.
Hello there.
These are old kobolds, which are like rat demon things.
Hello.
That's why they're all yipping.
Yes?
They're not like the
I need a
scaly lizard ones, like what's his name in Neverwinter Nights? Deacon. I kind of like this version of kobolds.
I need a sweet, strong dwarven head.
I am here.
We're going to see plenty of kobolds in this.
It is done.
Okay. So, getting back to this, Canderous here has a small shield. We can identify it. What's that mean? Also, Osprey has a Wander the Heavens here. We didn't have to identify that. Her lore is high enough that she could just look at it and know what it is. This has Flame Strike. Quite a nice item. Mordain here has another wand. Wander Magic Missiles. That's another nice one. She also has these darts, which are pretty pathetic, honestly. But, hey. Darts go up in items, in weapons here. They don't go into quiver. So whenever you whenever you use 20 of them, you have to go into your inventory, put another 20 in there. Dita has some potions. A potion, an oil of speed, which is like haste in a bottle. Very useful. He also has a healing potion. I'm going to show something off here. Just a moment. So, let me just, cough, cough. Do something here. Oh! Okay. Segue. You notice here. Arcanus's weapon is broken. The Iron Crisis sweeping across the Sword Coast region seemingly knows no mercy. This once fine weapon now lies in a jumbled heap of metal shards before you. So we heard earlier, actually, that there is an Iron Crisis going on. This is what it means. Weapons and armor made out of iron, or have iron in their construction, have a chance to just break like this. It doesn't happen too often. I believe it's a random chance. Sometimes I guess so. Sometimes it can happen more often than, you know, for some people than others. But I don't exactly know the exact chance of it happening. It doesn't happen too often, but it can be just you bought plate armor and then go into combat and it breaks. So you have to buy some new one. Magic weapons are exempt from this, which is part of the reason why it's so useful to find magical items quickly, because then you're not spending the money replacing your weapons all the time, or armor all the time. I don't think everything can break. I think helmets can, shields can, armor can, though I don't know about leather armor and studded leather armor. And weapons can. Pardon me. So, yeah. I don't know if bows can break. But yeah, his weapon's broken. You just have to buy a new one. Quarterstaves I don't think can break, because they're made of wood. I don't know if the game keeps track of that. But anyway, we have all these items here. If I go in here and export my character... Done. Okay, and
Your concern?
I'll give these items back or whatever. Because, you know... Actually, since we don't need to identify any other items, this is a shield +1. Armor class bonus of +1. That's pretty nice, especially because it would be quite valuable. We'll keep these potions and wands and so on in here, and we'll give people their other gear back, even though we could make use of this heavy armor. But we're a fighter mage, so if we wear armor, we can't cast spells. But we can always take it off. But, yeah. Anyway, I think there is some armor you can get which does let you cast spells, like elven armor or something. I don't know if that's in Baldur's Gate or in Baldur's Gate 2 or not. Oh, yeah. Sorry if I'm talking a lot. I feel there's a lot to cover. I might be overwhelming people. We'll have
Yes?
Arcanus
I am here.
wield the bow.
It is done.
Let's go down here. We are getting experience from this, so... They're not dropping items, by the way. Because they're illusions. Ooh. You think the Murder Kobold's better, but you have that has a lot to do with Deacon. He's a great character. Don't mind the new Dragonling versions of them, but they're meant to lost. I like the idea that they, like, revere dragons, because they're, like, lesser versions of dragons or something like that. That's neat. In this, they're kind of just, like, rat dog things. I don't remember if there's any deeper lore about them behind that than that. They might be, like, descended from demons or something.
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
Create some Tasloi. Another creature which Baldur's Gate brings up, which is not very common in many other D&D games. These creatures are usually only found in forests, but then again, Cloakwood is only a few days' travel north of Candlekeep. There's probably entries for these creatures in here. I don't think my voice is going to survive reading all of those entries. Man, what have I got myself into? Kobolds. Kobolds are cowardly, sadistic race of short humanoids that vigorously contest the human and humanoid races for living space and food. They especially dislike gnomes and attack them on sight. I don't think there's something in the game which makes them do that. Barely clearing 3 feet in height, kobolds have scaly hides that range from dark rusty brown to rusty black. They smell of damp dogs and stagnant water. Their eyes glow like a bright red spark, and they have 2 small horns ranging from tan to white. Because of the kobolds' fondness for wearing raggedy garb of red and orange, their non-prehensile rat-like tails, and their language, which sounds like small dogs yapping, these fell creatures are often not taken seriously. This is often a fatal mistake, for what they lack in size and strength, they make up in ferocity and tenacity. Some have also noted small humanoids called Tasloi and Svarts. While all are nearly harmless met singly, they always attack in packs. This is a good reason to travel in company, dear readers, if not just for the company. Follow. Okay. So here's Tasloi. They're like lanky goblins with spears. They have great noises too.
Hello.
Another spell. Burning Hands. There we go.
Hello there.
Command word. It actually worked. He was knocked unconscious.
Your concern?
No, he woke up soon. His circle around his feet has gone yellow. That means he's running. He's failed a morale check and he's fleeing.
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
Ooh, he created hobgoblins. These would be kicking our butt if they were dealing damage.
You be quiet, manure mouth.
Pretty sure that's Jim Cummings again.
Forward march! Spare no one! Spare no one!
Hobgoblins are large humanoids. They're like orcs.
Wisdom is only possessed by the learned.
They're like orcs, but they're more militaristic. Often forming mercenary bands. Get him! Yeah, they're all fleeing because we're killing all their friends. And we critical hit him and he jibbed.
Wisdom is only
Bring out some more monsters.
possessed by the learned.
Spare no one! Spare no one! Forward march! Forward march!
I'm pretty sure we don't get any more experience for all this, but
Hello there.
whatever, it's fun. Get a bless off to increase our hit chance. Or maybe damage? I forget what it does. Let me check. Saving throws against fear effects by +1. Raises attack dice rolls by +1. Yeah, okay.
Spare no one!
I do like how the characters glow in this with these spells. It's cool.
Wisdom is only
Bring out some more.
possessed by the learned.
Didn't last very long though.
Forward march!
Get him!
Spare no...
I am here.
Hello.
Hey,
Yes, friend?
Let's use an entangle. There we go.
Your conceit is done.
I actually forgot entangle works like that. It doesn't create a field, it just like entangles a bunch of targets which are near where you cast it. Webs makes an area which can constantly entangle people. Oh, you're out of arrows.
Yes?
some strong dwarven.
I am here.
Go after him.
You be quiet.
Your concern?
Forward march.
Hey, good, Jim.
Yes, friend?
Yes?
Punch.
Forward march.
I am here. Certainly.
Get him. There is options to have more detailed information down there. Let's see. Feedback. Yeah, so you can put the hit rolls in there if you want. And it'll actually list what the rolls are. Instead of just showing you the damage and all that. Hello?
Wisdom
Any more?
is only possessed by the learned. Wisdom
Oh.
is only possessed by the learned.
I think that's enough fighting for the day. You're starting to look pretty tired, and my magical abilities have been stretched to very near their limit. I'm going to teleport you outside now, and I think it would be good if you went and talked to your foster father, Gorion. You won't be able to re-enter these cellars once I teleport you out. That's for your own safety, as sometimes the aftermath of my illusions can be dangerous. Okay. And you'll see here, the party has lost an item. If you try to be sneaky and take off items of those characters, because some of them are good early on, you lose them. You can't take them with you. However, through sneaky methods, you can actually get around that. If you'll bear with me a moment. If we go here and import Pheak. Just put the colors the same. Whatever. And we accept. And we get done. Hey, look, we've got the items. That's the way in which you can make a lot of money early on. You just do that every time. Take the items, sell them as you want, keep the ones which you want, whatever. We could also get the identify scroll and then get another one off of Tethtorial again, so we could learn it early on. But yeah, you can get like +1 small shield, which is not as good as the large shield. Well, it gives you an extra armor piece, which is the armor class, which is good. We get a wand. We get this wand, which I can't use. I think only clerics can use this one. Yeah, fighter mage bard thing, so can't use it. But we get the potions as well, which is nice. And a composite bow. So I won't do that though. But yeah, you can do that to take the items from them if you wish.
Indeed.
Anyway. Let's go over here. Hey, 15 gold. Hello, welcome, welcome. Nothing in there. I think one of these guys suggests for you to pickpocket something off of him. Let's save. And go in here. Bunkhouse.
I have a blade with your name on it.
Here there, you're Gorion's little whelp, aren't you? Yeah, you match the description. You don't look so dangerous to me. And what business is that of yours? That I am? Do I know you? I am his child, if that's what you mean. Yeah, what business is that of yours? I make it my business, if I please. Just thought I'd have me a look at you for myself before I put the blade down your gullet. Someone seems to think you're trouble, so I'm going to use your head for a ticket out of the gutter. Just a little street trash hood, they say, but I'll show him. Oh my, he's attacking me.
It is done.
Ooh, he made me whiff my spell. Uh-oh. There we go. His name was Carbos, apparently. Took some damage from that. Is there anything else in here? I don't think so. I think he took 2 of my hit points. No!
Certainly.
Hello. I think there's someone around here.
Something on your mind?
Yeah, hello. Here we go. Karen. I heard shouting, Pheak. Are you alright? He's dead. Whoever he was, he lunged at me with a knife. Oh, Karen, what's happening to this place? It is better you don't ask questions, Karen. You have instructed and inspired me throughout my childhood, and your heart would break to see what has just transpired here. We'll be honest. It's not this place, child. It's you they're after. Gorion is waiting on the steps to the central library and wants you to go to him as soon as you have bought what you need at the inn. Oh, Pheak, I have been your tutor for so many years, and only in this moment have I come to doubt that my teachings have not been enough. Go to Gorion, child. It is safe for you no longer. Safe for you here no longer. So one of the other things is, I believe your character's supposed to be 18 years old. And Imowen, I think, is around the same age. My understanding is that for some of the races, this doesn't really make too much sense. If you're an elf, I think 18 is basically like a toddler for their like age year, for considering how old they are, or how old they can live to be. So it's not really like teenage age for all the classes, all the races. I think even the dwarf, that would be pretty damn young. It only really works for humans, but yeah, you know, that's not really relevant here, but whatever. It's always something which has struck me. Like, I think even for a gnome, I forget how old gnomes can grow to be. I think it's maybe around 200. So it's not as out of whack for gnomes as it is for, like, elves, but since elves can live for like 1,000 years in this. Or like 900. Anyway. Half orcs only live to like 35, if you remember correctly. Yeah, just something like that.
I should have joined the army.
Hello, Fuller. Oh, what a mead-filled night. That hole is just too much. Poor Sap had to go man the gate this morning too. I don't know how he does it. What can I do for you anyway? No, they really are just nosing around. I was wondering if you have any errands I could run. Errands? Yeah, actually. I need a quarrel of crossbow bolts. If you go to get some off of Winthrop at the inn, I'll reimburse you. Oh, very well. There'll be a few coins in it for you too. So stop giving me that look. Okay.
It is done.
Also, if we go down here, we'll find Hull. Somewhere around here? Actually, another room there. Just a moment. Ah, he's up here. Here we go. Here's Hull. Hey, kid. I woke late this morning and left my sword in the barracks before going on duty. If you want to get it for me, it's in the chest at the foot of my bed on the right side of the barracks. Quick now, before the gate warden catches me without it. You'll also find an antidote there. I think Dreppen needs one for old Nessie. Okay. So we head back here. And let's have a look at our journal. My old friend Imowen pestered me today. She has a strange way of showing her affection for me, and sometimes she can be quite annoying. Still, she's a nice girl, and I'm glad to know her. Someone wishes me dead. Gorion is right to think we are no longer safe here, though I have no idea why someone would want to cause us harm. The attempt on my life may have been laughable, but I fear there will be more threats to come. I wonder how they got in here. Yeah, probably just smuggled themselves in. Fuller's recovering from last night's mead fest in the barracks. After a little pestering, he agreed to give me a little bit of change if I fetch a quarrel of crossbow bolts from the innkeeper, Winthrop. Hull, one of the ever-present watchers here in Candlekeep, forgot his sword in the barracks this morning. He has asked me to fetch the weapon from its resting place in the chest against the right wall. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rest again to get my spells back. I'm pretty sure we can rest at this point. Again, there's no time limit, so we could wait like a week, and Gorion would still be there waiting.
Certainly.
So here's one's up here. And we've got permission to take these, so nobody will mess with us. There's probably other things in those, but I don't know. Sorry, young'un, but you're not allowed in here. Now go run along and do something useful. Okay.
It is done.
Let's go to Winthrop, get those quarrels. How many did he want? A quarrel of crossbows, so just 20. Okay.
Certainly.
My hotel's as clean as an elven arse.
Hang on. There we go.
It is done.
Go over this way.
Hello there.
Here's Philidia. Oh, hello. Have you seen my copy of the History of Halrua anywhere? You know how I can't stand the constant shuffling of arthritic feet up in the library, so I thought I'd get a bit of fresh air just east of here, and oh, I hate being so absent-minded. Please, if you find it, I really do need it back. Okay. Dear absent-minded Philidia has lost another of her books, the History of Halrua, this time. Last time she was at Candlekeep, she lost an entire 4-volume set in the hay we keep for the cows. Hint, hint, where you should look. Again, it's useful to do these quests. Gonna get a bit of extra experience early on. This is preschoolers, right? Hello.
What do you need?
Dreppen. Philidia left one of her books in here again. It's in the hay there beside the cow. If you can run it over to her and then come back, I've got some plans for you. Up there. There we go. These books, they have lengthy texts in them. I'm probably not going to read it, so my voice can hold on for as long as possible.
Indeed.
It's also not really relevant to us in this game. I don't even really know anything about Halrua.
Your concern? It
Hello
is done.
there.
My book! Oh, you remind me of Gorion when you grin like that. Raising you has been hard on him, I know, but he says it's a toil of love, a toil of destiny even. You must be a very special child indeed to draw such praise from a man of his silent nature. Here, take this little gem of mine. Maybe Rinthrope will give you a little something for it. There we go. And we get a Lynx Eye gem. Lynx Eye is a specific type of Labradorite, a feldspar gemstone. Labradorite, as a class of stone, is pale to dark grey and has patches of coloured reflections. This flash is most commonly blue, but can be of all shades. Green flash Labradorite is called Lynx Eye in the realms. I think it sells for 7. I don't remember whether the book sells for more than that. But you also get experience. 50, so... Hey, Dreppen. You said you had something else for me? Nice day, ain't it? Too bad Nessa here ain't enjoying it, though her being sick and all. I need to get her one of them potions of antidote off Hull. He stayed up drinking last night and got hauled out of bed to man the gates early this morning, so I bet he's got a few of them lying around somewheres. Oh, poor absent-minded Philidia gave me a gem for returning her lost book. Candlekeep, it seems, continues to defy all laws of economics. The more books it holds, the more valuable they become to those who read them. The greater the supply, the greater the demand. Bah, all this thinking is making my head hurt. Time to pawn this gem and get something useful for it. Nessa the cow is feeling a bit under the weather today. Dreppen's asked me to get a potion of antidote from Hull, who's been posted to the gate this morning. It appears that Hull has been using them to avoid his morning hangovers.
What do you need?
Hey, you're a wonder, you are. Stick with me and you will go far. Well, okay, stick with me and we'll probably never leave the walls of Candlekeep, would we? Good thing you ain't wearing none of that metal armor, though, as I hear that the bandits out there would just as soon kill you as look at you to get it off your back. I just hope this whole Iron Crisis business is wrapped up soon. I believe he'll actually say something different there if you are wearing armor. Labradorite, one of your favorite, but you hate trade names. Here's a temple. I believe it's a temple of Ogma. Yep.
These walls
I am pleased to see that you have taken time to pay tribute to wise Ogma. What do you offer me at the Temple of Wisdom? Cure light wounds for 50 gold pieces. No thanks. You can donate money. This is mostly for raising your reputation. And you can buy some items here. Potions of healing, elixirs of health, antidotes, which is 150 gold pieces, and stone flesh scroll, 225 gold pieces. Potions of healing will be useful. 9 hit points per potion, but a bit much for us at the moment. Let's go down here. Over this way. Oh, hang on. Okay, there's another combat here. Okay.
Hey.
Hello. Jondalar. Hey there, Pheak. I see you're up early this morning. Well, your father Gorion had asked me a strange favor. Seems like he'd want you to learn some fighting and asked me to be the teacher. So I hope you brought your staff with you. Hostile creatures have red circles around their feet. Left-clicking within the circle will direct you to attack me. Blah, 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 blah. During our fight, I'm going to spring a little surprise on you. Remember, you can press the space bar at any time to pause the game. This will give you time to think, especially once my little surprise comes up. Are you ready now? Good. Pause. His friend up here appears. So we can go and attack him. Ow! They don't hurt us, actually. I was afraid they would. If we can hit them.
I can take
there we go.
it with both my arms tied behind my back.
Wow, you're quite a fighter. I think Jondalar was right when he said you didn't need any practice. You should go talk to the Gate Warder if you want some experience in fighting with a group of people. You can find him just south of here. Out there, it can be pretty important to know how to fight with allies at your side. Okay. And then they both go into the building and disappear. Save again.
By Moradin's hammer!
I thought I asked you to clean the rats out of this building yesterday already. Hop to it! Get in there! I found that potion for Drippin's cow. I just hope it's what he thinks it is and not a potion of fire breath or something. Reaver has once again pressed me into service in his storehouse. All reports suggest that our feline forces have turned traitor, and that the rats are on the offensive. It appears that I am our last hope in the face of such an awesome display of power. Farewell, dear journal. Farewell. The cats aren't doing anything. We gotta kill the rats. The rats, I believe, can actually hurt you. You see them, like, nibbling our toes there. I guess if you wanted the farm experience, you could kill the cats as well, but, let's not do that. Kitties! Hey, there's a silver ring in here. The meat hanging up. Nothing in there. I think there's another barrel down here. Yeah. And nothing in there. Okay. Hello.
Yes? It is done.
Moradin's hammer!
Ah, yes. Killed them like the rats that they are. A glorious battle unlike any this world has ever seen. Here's 5 gold pieces. Don't spend them all in one place. Mental note, don't join the armed forces. They never inform you of the full danger when you enter, and they always pay you squat when you leave. Reaver gave me all of 5 gold pieces for putting my life on the line in there. Isn't there a Candlekeep People's Revolutionary Front I can join somewhere? We need a union. We're clearly not getting paid appropriate for our level of skill. There's nothing over there. I think we've done pretty much everything around here. We'll go back over here and give the quarrels. Oh, hang on, no, we have to give Holy Sword. This actually gives me another point to bring up. So, Hull's Longsword here, it's got a unique name, and my friends, when I used to play this at their house, we had the idea that because this longsword is named, it won't break like the other weapons which you can purchase at the store. Like, you know, like a longsword like this, because it's special in some way, because it's got a name and it's a quest item. I don't believe... So because of that reason, because we thought that, we would usually keep it. in our character. It's otherwise a longsword just like all the others. I'm pretty sure that's not the case, and Hull's longsword can actually break just like all the others.
I am here.
There's no reason to hold on to it. Took your sweet time, didn't you? Gorion's a fool for trying to bring you up right, and you can tell him I said so too. If I didn't know any better, I'd say this whole iron crisis is a result of twerps like you wandering off with people's swords. Here's 10 GP. Now get out of here, I'm on duty. Hull gave me 10 GP for bringing him his own dumb sword. I should have charged him extra for the tongue lashing he gave me, though. Okay. You might be able to sell it for more than that, but yeah.
Your concern?
Pathing in this game can sometimes be a bit wonky. You want to keep an eye on your character. Yeah, look at that. You can't go behind the building,
Certainly.
so. Oh, right. I didn't go into the building up there. Okay. Hello.
Indeed.
I should have joined the army.
Here you are, you little money grubber. Put a few gold pieces in your purse. And we get 10 gold. We get 50 experience, though, so. Do you have anything else to say?
Indeed.
I should have joined the army.
Oh. Yeah, well, I don't think this headache means I'm not keeping my eye on you. Okay. It just says the same thing as you did before. Don't think I've ever talked to him again afterwards.
Indeed.
We'll walk up this way. And, how much gold do we have now? 171. Not too bad. We'll sell these 2 items, so. We need to give this, identify scroll back as well. Again, we'll be able to get one again at some point, so it's not that big of a deal. We're also a mage, so we might be able to identify the items which we get ourselves. Okay, I want to go over here. To this place. And I will save before I go in there.
Hello.
Oh, goody goody. I've gone and found you first. You're the ward of Gorion, no doubt. His name's Shank. I am. What can I do for you? I do not recognize you. Who are you and what are you doing here? Leave me be. I have pressing matters that I must attend to. Far be it from me to keep you from your pressing matters, but I must insist on a moment of your time. The last moment, actually. I apologize for not fully explaining my motives, but I'm on a rather tight schedule, and exposition is simply not my forte.
Certainly.
I'll crush your face, I will.
There we go. Get another dagger.
I am. It is done.
It did deal some damage to us, though. Wait, dealt 7 points of damage, so yeah. Pretty good. 8 gold on the table there. He dealt 1 point of damage to us. There's a warhammer in there. Oh, I didn't check the chest there. Pheak, you cut yourself above the brow there. What is wrong, child? Something in your eyes tells me that something is very wrong indeed. Oh, partner, there was a man in there. He smelled like the stables, and he tried to kill me. It was horrible. It's nothing, partner. One of the cats didn't like me petting it. I'm alright, really. It was horrible. Hurry then, child. Equip yourself at the inn and go join Gorion on the steps of the library. I had a sense something like this might happen.
Indeed.
Okay, let's go in here, and yeah, I want to check this chest. Another dagger in there. Okay.
It is done.
Let's go over here, and we'll sell what we have. Have a journal? No, Fuller gave me a lousy 10 gold for running his errands. I bet I'd get at least 15 for being an errand runner in Baldur's Gate.
My
Okay, let's go sell this stuff.
Elven arse.
let's see. Dagger. The Warhammer. Silver rings for 1 GP. Dagger for 1 GP. Linkside gem for 7. Whoa, a total of 13 gold. I'll save here because I want to see what we get for this.
It's hard to find decent folk nowadays.
Glad to see that age has not hardened your heart towards an old man such as myself. I'll take all of your identify scrolls. I have a great use for these types of scrolls. Here, allow me to cast a little spell on you. It will protect you from any evil you might meet tonight. Right, so it casts protection from evil on you. Not actually useful. It doesn't do anything. We get 50 experience though. Apparently we get an item. Maybe a healing potion?
It is done.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm pretty sure protection from evil only protects you from, like, denizens of hell or something. So. Oh no, hang on. It might actually increase your, rolls against people of, evil alignment. Yeah, I think that might be it. Because I don't think there is any demons in this game. Let me see. Create a magical barrier around the recipient at a distance of 1 foot. All attacks made by evil or evilly enchanted creatures against a protected creature receive a penalty of -2 to each attack roll. And any saving throws caused by such attacks are made by the protected creature with a +2 bonus. Okay, it is actually useful. Let's continue though. There we go. I think we've gotten everything which we can. Everything which I care to get. We could try and write this spell into our mage book. Let me just save again. There is a chance to fail on that, so. Yeah, I think I'm about ready.
You must learn to be patient, child.
Okay, I'm ready to go right now. Oh, we lost our...
Listen carefully.
Protection from evil anyway.
It is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them. Let's hurry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. I will explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait, there is something wrong. We are in an ambush.
You're perceptive for it, old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, old man.
You will smash your face! Get out of here!
The dawn is especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.
Okay.
Hey, it's me, Emmeline.
Oh, hello. Sorry I followed you, but I never get out of Candlekeep, and those monks are such a bore. Never any decent coin in the pockets neither. I saw Gorion, and I'm so sorry. Kinda figured something bad might happen to you out here. How could you have known? Gorion did not even tell me. I do not want you looking over my shoulder as I travel. Take your nosy little self back to the keep before Winthrop sees you gone. Gorion didn't even tell me. I accidentally read a letter on his desk the other day. Can't remember exactly what it said, but he might still have it. It might be on his body. Anyway, I'm not going to let you wander around here all alone. Never let a friend down. No, sir. Stick with you until you say otherwise, I will. Okay. And Imowen joins our party. She'll join regardless. She is one party member who will stay with you regardless of any decisions you make. She's actually got 14 hit points, more than me. 7, twice as many as I do. She's got 3 healing potions as well, very useful. And a potion of speed. Short bow. And a short sword. Short bow down here has abilities. This just lets you select which arrow you want to use, I think. Yeah, you can change the currently selected ability by clicking on one. If you had different types of arrows, you could change them here. Seems a bit pointless because you could just change it over here. The ones with the green around them is the ones you use. And you could also change them down here as well, so... I don't know. Redundancy?
Yes?
I like the UI in this game. I think it's quite effective. What it's trying to do. You can see up here. Also, you may notice we've taken the pointed damage. So, as was mentioned earlier by someone else in chat. Pardon, I forget who exactly. But one time, I created a mage, and I had 1 or 2 hit points. And... you always take a point of damage in that cutscene from the flaming arrow fired at you. When I created a mage with 1 hit point, I actually died during the cutscene because of that. So, yeah, make sure you have at least 2 hit points. Otherwise you die before your adventure even begins. Nothing happens. Well, I mean, I don't know. You might get a game over with screen, or the cutscene might just hang. I can't remember. Because it's like, oh no, you're not alive. And what do I do now? We need to be careful around here. There are wolves. Here we go.
I am here, certainly.
Okay, what's he got? 58 gold, a dagger, and a letter. There's a morning star, I believe. Yep, 18 gold. And another morning star. And 34 gold. I think more money than we got delivering our, doing our errands. Let's read this. My friend Gorion, please forgive the abruptness with which I now write, but time is short and there is much to be done. What we have long feared may soon come to pass, though not in the manner foretold. And certainly not in the proper time frame. As we both know, forecasting these events has proved increasingly difficult, leaving little option other than the leap of faith. We have done what we can for those in thy care, but the time nears when we must step back and let matters take what course they will. We have perhaps been a touch too sheltering to this point. Despite my desire to remain neutral in this matter, I could not, in good conscience, let events proceed without some measure of warning. The other side will move very soon, and I urge thee to leave Candlekeep this very night, if possible. The darkness may seem equally threatening, but a moving target is much harder to hit, regardless of how sparse the cover. A fighting chance is all that can be asked for at this point. Should anything go awry, do not hesitate to seek aid from travelers along the way. I do not need to remind thee that it is a dangerous land even without our current concerns, and a party is stronger than an individual in all respects. Should additional assistance be required, I understand that Jaheira and Khalid are currently at the Friendly Arm Inn. They know little of what has passed, but they are ever thy friends, and will no doubt help however they can. Luck be with us all. I'm getting too old for this. E. Okay.
Your concern?
Yeah,
Yes?
who could that be? There's more which we could explore around here, but I want to do so when we actually have more of a party. I might actually have to swap the discs over when we get to the Friendly Arm Inn. I think this... Oh, hang on.
I am here. Your concern?
Okay. Disease gibbling.
Certainly.
Hello there.
Oh, hello. Who the heck are you? Coulson. Well, a busy day for me today indeed. Strange noises throughout the night, now a plethora of people strolling about the woods. You do look a touch more hospitable than the last two I met. Well met, stranger. I am called Coulson. Can we have them cured first before fighting them? They seem unsporting to us. Yeah, if we had that potion of antidote, we could cure the... No, that would just cure poison. It wouldn't cure disease. Stand away from me. I have very little trust left after last night's events, and I'll not waste any on you. Could you help me? My foster father and I were attacked last eve, and I'm not sure where I could go. I would have your assistance. I was ambushed in the night, and I require whatever you can give. You saw two people in the wood? I was told to meet some friends at the Friendly Arm Inn. Perhaps they are the ones that you met. Perhaps they and the ones you met are one and the same. Why are you in the woods? I have heard nothing but how dangerous they are. Yeah, could you help me? The carnage to the north must be the aftermath of your little skirmish, then. I am most assuredly sorry about your predicament, though there is little I can do for you. I have nothing of serviceable value to impart, except common sense in a few directions. A ways east of here, you should find a crossroads. North of there is the Friendly Arm Inn, and south is the town of Beragos. Both can offer shelter, though rates at the Friendly Arm are likely better. It is a friendlier atmosphere for the young adventurer as well. Staying close to the roads will make your journey safer, but that will depend on where you are heading as well. I cannot accompany you, though. Though there were a pair of travelers not far up the road. They might offer assistance, but I would be wary of the cost. I didn't like the look of them myself. Well, thank you for your time. Good luck in your travels. Fare thee well, as they say. He might give you something if you ask, but yeah, whatever. Apparently there's some people up here who might be able to help us. Who could they be? Yeah, hello, you must be the people.
Yes?
You already be disturbed. Now leave me be. Your company be toil enough as is.
Hello there, kid. Rather strange place to be wandering, ain't it? My companion has something to say to you.
Montalon, you are so aggravating. 'Tis disturbing to my demeanor.
A child wandering in the wilderness? Surely you must be none too bright to be travelling these roads. And you look a bit scruffed too. Fine pair of troubles all of your own. Indeed, I can offer you healing potions if you wish, as a token of goodwill. I know you not and want none of your help. I prefer to manage on my own. I'd be grateful for any assistance. Nothing to fear for these simple potions, and I'll not even hold you in debt, though your conscience knows otherwise. Just like all good people. Perhaps as payment you would go with us to Nashkel. It is a troubled area, and we mean to investigate some disturbing rumours surrounding the local mine. Some acquaintances are very concerned about the iron shortage, specifically where to lay blame in the matter. You would be useful, though I'll not hold you to it. We are to meet the mayor of the town, a man named Baron Gastkill, I believe. Your conscience be your guide. There's little else for me to do. I may as well go with you. Go on your way and leave me be. I will not go. I will go my own path. I would join with you, but I must meet someone first. Perhaps you would go with me? We're precious little time, but it's best to travel accompanied. I will go with you. You owe us for our time, though. So we get Monteron and Zar. Zar and Monteron wish me to travel to Nashkel. Okay. When asked about her past, Imoen slaps your shoulder playfully. She says that you of all people should know, seeing as how you grew up together. Indeed, some of your fondest memories are of meeting the sprightly young lass. She apparently came to Candlekeep much as you did, though 10 years later in life, and she spent much more time with the gruff Winthrop than the Gorion. Puffguts, she would call him, much to the old innkeep's dismay. She seems the eternal child, and is quite content to play the part of your little sister. Though you are both of comparative ages, you can tell by her hearty smile that she will always be willing to travel with you, no matter what path you take. When asked about his past, Monteron openly threatens you with bodily harm. He seems quite dangerous and more than willing to engage in gratuitous violence. It would appear that he cares little for life, including his own. He works grudgingly with Zar, even though he obviously despises the man. Whoever their employees are, they must be powerful indeed. These two would likely kill each other without a presence over their heads preventing it. Monteron might be willing to discuss the whole matter with you, but you get the feeling that you probably would not wake up the next morning. For the longest time, I thought he was a dwarf. He is actually a halfling. He's a fighter thief. And he is a neutral evil. Zar here is a human. He's chaotic evil. He looks perfectly fine. When asked about his past, Zar has very few coherent things to say. His desire to determine the cause of the iron shortage seems benevolent enough, but his motives remain unclear. His ramblings seems disjointed, but his faculties are obviously good enough order for him to be adept at magic. He mutters something about how he and his associate Monteron are in the employ of a powerful group, but when pressed for details he gets extremely agitated and does not speak for some time. He is obviously at least partially insane, and the network that would hire him must be dark indeed. Okay. Yeah, it's got alright stats. 17 intelligence, 16 wisdom, constitution's 10. He's a necromancer level 2. Monteron is a multi-class, as I said, fighter thief. Low charisma, 17 dexterity, 15 constitution. Yeah, it's alright. Got some potions too. Potion of speed and a potion of healing. And Zar has some spells too. Cold Touch and Larlock's Minor Drain, I believe. Which are both necromancy spells. So we can't use them. He may as well have them there. He has no armor. Monteron's got studded leather. Let me just check something.
I am here.
Yep. Okay, doesn't matter. If we're wearing any armor, we can't cast spells. Imoen doesn't have leather armor, so
Your
I can't test that.
concern? Yes, it is done.
Nope, hang on. Okay.
Yep.
It is done.
We got 2 more party members. But we will go to... friendly arm in first. Hello. I said hello. Binkos.
Your concern indeed.
Apparently, I can't talk to you.
Indeed.
That's odd. Oh well, never mind. Okay. This is something else I really like in Baldur's Gate. As we'll see when we're exploring around, the zones are kind of right next to each other. We'll see continuations from this zone to this one. And then there, and then there's like an area here, there's areas up here. We could go south from here, and there's an area there. I really like how it feels like you're going through a coherent world, even though it's split up into different zones. Baldur's Gate 2 actually makes it so there's more distance between the areas, so they're not directly connected, like right next to each other. So you'll go from like Candlekeep to Friendly Army, and there might and without like the these different little zones in between.
Oh there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
It's been nigh unto 10 days since I've seen a soul walking this road, and I've been without decent conversation since. Travelling nowadays appears to be the domain of either the desperate or the deranged. If thou wouldst pardon my intrusion, might I inquire which pertains to thee? Not to imply anything, but how do you measure up to your own standards? Pestering strangers about their mental state doesn't seem that well adjusted to me. Fair bit of desperate, actually. Might you know the way to the friendly I'm in? I was told I might meet some friends there. I'm not so stupid as to listen to strangers in the middle of nowhere, no matter how infirm they may be. Off with you. Pardon me. A fair bit of desperate, actually. That I would. The inn is but a short distance to the north, and its doors are open to all. I have no doubt that thy friends shall be there waiting with open arms. My sympathies for all hardships the road may have inflicted upon thee, though I am certain everything shall turn out for the best. But I have wasted too much of thy time, and said too much already. I shall take my leave and wish thee all the best.
I can offer some guidance, but I will not interfere in your destiny. Thy mission is urgent. Must thou waste time poking the elderly? The years I have seen number hundreds, and yet I put up with thy prodding. I can offer some guidance, but I will not interfere in your destiny. Thy mission is the years Thy mission is the years. Oh, Lord, it is hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can offer some guidance. Thy mission is urgent. Must thou waste time poking the elderly?
As again, characters have funny things to say when you keep on clicking them.
Ye spoke at me? This better be good. What need ye dead? Ye spoke at this. What need ye spoke this? What need I warrant your attention? Oh, frabjurous day, Kalu Calais. Leave me be, lest your head leave your neck. What part of I'm a loner do ye not understand? Ye spoke at sleep lightly.
Something troubling you? Your voice is ambrosia.
Stop touching me!
Something your voice. Something your voice.
Tell me about the rabbits.
Those the gods wish to destroy, they first make mad. Mad! Mad!
I ate his liver with a nice Chianti and some fava beans.
I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs.
Something troubling
I am here, certainly.
Just a bunch of references. That's perfectly safe. Oh, hello. It's farts.
Your concern. It is done.
What you want? I've done had enough.
Yes?
My blade will cut you down to size.
There we go.
I am indeed.
And they're not illusions. They actually have loot on them.
Your indeed.
Oh, hang on. I think there's something up here. Old man in red robes, who would it be? I have no idea. I'm sure it's just a crazy old guy. We've got our own one. We've got our own one with Zar here. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, what's this?
Yes, indeed.
I do know about this, at least. It's a ring. We have to identify it. We don't have an identify spell, though. And Zar doesn't know one.
I am here, certainly.
We're actually tied. I realize now this is an image of a closed eye. I always thought it was a series of teeth. Just looks like the upper teeth of a mouth to me. There's supposed to be an eyelid with eyelashes, I think. Or something.
Hello, pal.
Oh boy, who's that? Oh, there you are. Oh, I know you.
Your certainly.
If you don't mind, please try to keep your voices down. There be beasties around here, better hearing than we. Seem quite at home out here. What's the most dangerous thing you've seen? What should I be wary of in this area? Sorry to disturb you, I'll be on your way. Let them hear. I'm more than able to handle whatever comes. What's the most dangerous thing you've seen? The most dangerous thing I intentionally went after? Stalked an ogre mage for a few days once. Had a party of me own back then. Killed the ogre, lost a party. Not really worth the trade if you ask me. I've seen more dangerous beasties, but usually over my shoulder as I'm making tracks as fast as I can. No shame in running when your life's on the line. Off with you now, I've meat to catch. Okay.
Yes, certainly.
Do we have any notes? I met a strange man on the road to the Friendly Arm Inn. He seemed interested in me, though I don't know why. He was a little odd. Okay. Let me just save, because I might have to swap the CD over. Thanks, Eagle. Nope. Okay. Journey took 8 hours.
I am here.
Hello there. Welcome to Friendly Arm. I trust you know the rules of conduct within. There are rules? What kind of rules? I know which rules suit me and which ones don't. I will follow those that suit the situation. Certainly. Common sense rules today within the Friendly Arm. What kind of rules? Perhaps rules is a touch too formal. It is unwritten, but accepted. That while herein you will act with the utmost civility to all other guests. This is neutral ground and all grievances are left at the gates. If the grievances come in, then you will go out. Enjoy your stay.
Certainly.
Hey, they've actually got some catapults on the walls there.
Hello there.
Yeah, the NPCs walking around just sometimes say random things.
Hello there. Hello there.
Just a commoner. I think there's some quests you can do around here. Okay. Let's go in here.
Yes, it is done.
Pal. Hello. I think it's on Zentorim what been causing all the problems around these parts. Don't have a real reason to invade, so it don't make any sense thinking they're behind it. Zents don't need a reason though, and a lot of clues point to them too. Okay. Anything over here we can take? No? Okay. There's some things here, but he's right there, so I don't want to steal from them.
Certainly.
Cows. Go over here. Okay, you're a god.
Hi, friend.
Hi, friend. I've not seen you here before today. What brings you to the Friendly Arm Inn? Not much, really. Just road-weary travelers looking for a place to rest. I'm here to meet some friends. I'm not your friend, and my business is my own. Road-weary travelers looking for a place to rest. I see. Pardon my being too forward, but you've the bearing of someone I've been looking for. About your height they were, same style of dress or thereabouts. I dare say you seem to be the spitting image of them. Might you have travelled from Candlekeep by any chance? Actually, yes, I was there until quite recently. I may have visited there on occasion. What of it? Candlekeep? Never heard of it. Really? I would beg to differ. You fit the description, so I think it would be safe to assume you are the one I seek. Don't move, I have something for you. Tarnish. Something to note. The music playing at the moment here is extremely similar, as I found out, to the soundtrack for a movie called Life Force. I recommend listening to the main theme for that movie, because it's this is basically the same music. It's good music. And it might be used in a few other places as well. But yeah, I don't think the movie itself is very good. Something about lady space vampires or something like that. Kind of like a B-shock movie, but apparently it's got a really good soundtrack, so. Hello, welcome. Another streamer you followed played this, took him like 24 streams, good luck. I know what I'm getting into. I've finished this before, so. Yeah, this isn't going to be short.
I care not.
Oh well.
I am gone.
Your concern?
Stop touching me!
Good. Killed him in one shot.
Yes?
He's a mage. He can be quite nasty.
Certainly.
Ooh. Money and spells.
Hello.
There's to be no fighting or sealing within sight of the walls of the friendly I'm in. Aggressors will be punished to the full extent of frontier law.
I am here.
I think someone talks to you? Someone talked to you about that?
It is done.
No? Okay, I think someone usually comes up and says, hey, what was going on? But it's been ages. It's been like over a decade since I played this.
Good to meet a fine sod such as yourself.
I can't stand the way the roads are cut off these days. My uncle's in Baldur's Gate and I can't get there to see him. How come the roads are cut off? Bandits, I guess. What does your uncle do? He's a mage and a crotchety one of that. Goes by the name of Rage Fist, though as kids we always called him Grumpleskin. If he ever called us at that, he cast Barkskin on us, so we'd wander around all brown-skinned and green-haired and funny-looking for a few hours. Okay.
Indeed.
I need some ale.
Yes?
It's been
Hey, Inkeep.
slow business lately.
Bentley Mirrorshade. Not too many travelers have been through lately. What was the supposed trouble down south, so what can I do for you? What do you have to sell for me? He has the usual things. Some books, though, which you can just read in his inventory. You don't need to purchase them. History of the Unicorn Run. And History of the Faithful Coin. He has got a large shield +1 for 3,000 gold pieces. A little above what we have. Hello?
Calm yourself, dear. We must proceed carefully.
Something about you is familiar, child. Your manner reminds me of a sage I knew by the name of Gorion. It's almost a slight on him, but I see it too. Jahira, mind your manners. This must be the child that Gorion wrote of so often. We are old friends of your adopted father. He is not with you? I must assume the worst. He will not permit his only child to wander without his accompaniment. If he has passed, we share your loss. Gorion often said he was worried for your safety, even at the expense of his own. He also wished that Khalid and I would become your guardians if he ever should meet an untimely end. However, you are much older now, and the choice of your companions should be your own. We could travel with you until you get settled, help you find your lot in life. It would be a fitting last service to Gorion that we should first go to Naskel. Khalid and I look into local concerns, and there are rumors of strange things happening at the mine. No doubt you have heard of the iron shortage. You would do well to help us. It affects everyone, including you. We are to meet the mayor of the town, Baron Gaskill. Your company would be welcome. I would rather choose my own future and leave Gorion's past behind me. I'll find my own way on my own. I'm already going to Nashkel. My current companions wish to visit there as well. Yeah, sure. Indeed. Interesting. In that case, I think we should definitely travel as one. You can never be too careful about the dangers of the open road, wherever they may spring from. Okay. Now we have a full party. Something to note about the last 2 people which we got in our party, or the last 4 people we got into our party, is that they come in pairs. This means that if you dismiss one of them, the other one will leave as well. There are ways to get around this. I believe if one of them dies, then you can dismiss them from your party and the living one won't leave. But, like, if we dismiss
servant awaits.
Jaheira here, then Khalid will leave as well. Because, well, I believe they're husband and wife. Montron and Zara are the same because they're partners. Working together because of another group, so you know they have to work together. So Imoen, well, she doesn't have someone with her, so yeah. Some people, when you dismiss them from your party, they will disappear. Other ones will stay where you dismiss them. Imoen's like that, I believe. Khalid and Jaheira, I think they might stay where you dismiss them, or they might head back here. I'm not too sure. But I'm pretty sure Montron and Zara, if you dismiss them, they disappear completely. So we'll keep them with our party for now. Let me just reorder the party. I'll stay in the front. Khalid's a fighter, so he'll stay there.
Can I help you? You have need of me? Yes? You have... you have... If at first I don't succeed, the wife won't let me forget. That's all, folks. Cheer. Click on someone your own size.
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure. You've a task. Nature's servant awaits. Yeah, you've a nature. Yeah, you've a by your you've yeah, you've a nature. Yeah, you've a what now? Need your pantaloons pressed? By your command. This would be a good place for a henge. If a tree falls in the forest, I'll kill the bastard what done it.
Khalid is a fighter, level 2, half elf, neutral good. I'm not too sure. He might have a lower morale check than other characters. That might be false. But I seem to remember he ends up fleeing a little bit more often than other characters. Again, that might just be confirmation bias. Jaheira is a fighter druid. Level 1 both, half elf. Alright stats, good constitution, not too good wisdom for a druid, or intelligence, depending on which one they use. I think druids use wisdom. Strength is alright, dexterity is alright, charisma is alright. I mean, she doesn't use charisma, so... this is a mage book. This is a priest and druid spell book. She has a few spells. Heal, bravery, or remove fear, and entangle. She also has some other spells. Bless, which we've seen. Detect evil, makes evil characters and creatures glow red. And Shillelagh, which summons a club with a +1 bonus to an attack roll, and inflicts 2d4 points of damage on opponents up to man size, and 1d4 +1 points of damage on larger opponents. Not too useful, but I believe it counts as a magical weapon, so it is useful for hitting creatures which can only be hit by magical attacks. Khalid, he's not a spellcaster, he doesn't have any spells. Zar, he has Larlock's Minor Drain. What this spell does is it inflicts 1 to 4 points of damage on the target, and the mage gains 1 to 4 points of health extra. It disappears after 10 rounds. And he also has Chill Touch, which the spellcaster gets a glow around his hand. He has to hit the target in melee, where they must make a saving throw versus spell or suffer 1 to 8 points of damage and receive a -2 Thaco modifier. I don't tend to think these spells where the caster has to touch someone in melee as being very useful. I prefer ranged attacks. Though I guess a -2 to Thaco could be useful, but putting the mage into melee seems like too much risk. Oh, the other spells we learned. Infravision. Gives us infravision, just as an elf or dwarf would. We have infravision since we're a gnome. And we have sleep, which makes a group of targets go to sleep. We'll learn that once we go up a level and get an extra spell slot. Anyway.
Your concern? Certainly.
Right. So, I think there's some other things we could do here as well, but we might want to put them off until later, because since both of our party members here, or these four, want to go to Nashkel, that's something we have to do. If we take too long, I forget how many days it is, but if we take too long to get to Nashkel, they'll leave to go there themselves. Even Khalid and Jahira will eventually leave our party to go there if we don't go to Nashkel. And I'm pretty sure if they do that, they will just disappear. So...
Yes?
Hey, you stay out of my kitchen. You'll mess up my art. Someday he's gonna cook for the Duke himself. Fetches the less fish spice in the palace, so you can enjoy a meal from start to finish. Okay.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Come on. There we go.
Certainly.
Let me see. Do we have information? Yes, we do. Information is this red glow on characters. Imoen doesn't have information, being human, so she doesn't have it.
This better be good.
Montron doesn't have it, even though it's a halfling. I thought halflings did.
Nature's servant awaits.
Half elves have it.
I am here indeed.
Stop yawning. Jeez.
You are welcome here in Garl Glittergold's sight.
For a bit of respectful coin, we can cure what ails you if you need. I'm always disappointed that, like, Galana here and her husband, the barkeep, or the innkeeper, which we talked to before, they don't really have that much to say. Even though they're the owners of Friendly Army, you can't really ask them about it, or, you know, about who they are and all that. Which I always found a little disappointing, because there's interesting stories behind the Friendly Army, which is in the manual. My throat being what it is at the moment, I'm not going to read it. I'm sorry. What have we got? Potion of Healing, Potion of Genius. Increases intelligence by 4 points up to a maximum of 25. Mind Focusing. Gives you +3 intelligence, +3 dexterity for 12 hours. Insight. Raises the wisdom by to 18 for 6 hours. Antidote. Cures poison. Doesn't cure disease. Health. Elixir of health. Removes all poisons and then heals you by 10 pip points. And stone flesh, of course, you know what it does. If you're being petrified, it makes you flesh again. I don't think we've got anything which you... Oh, no, we do, actually. Oh, hang on. Ring. Can't identify. Zar. Can you identify? You can't. Jahira. Can you identify? You can't. What have you got, actually? Jahira's got a potion of invisibility. Give that to Imoen. Khalid's got a health potion. Splint mail. A helmet. Medium shield. Long sword. And some arrows. Khalid's got a staff. And some leather armor. Montron, yeah, we're seeing what he has, and Zar, we'll see what he has. Okay, I think... Right, we can wear items even though they're not identified. So this ring is a ring of protection +1. You'll see it lowers our Thaco there, or lowers our armor class by 1. Yeah, not Thaco. Thaco is to hit. That's just armor class. So we have an armor class of 7 when we wear that. Considering we have probably the highest armor out of a party without it. Wow. On par with Jahira and Zar. We probably want to wear that. Unmodified armor class, I think, of a normal human is 8. Jahira has 10. She doesn't get a bonus for dexterity. Imoen's got 6 without any armor on, because her dexterity is 18. So, we have 9 without her armor. but we have because we got +1 to our AC, which lowers it, because of a dexterity, and then +1 because of the shield, and +1 because of the ring.
Yes,
so.
I am here indeed.
There we go. Right.
It is done.
Can't remember whether there's other places you can go in here. Again, there's a few quests which we can do here, but I think I'll wait until after we've done the mines. From what I remember of one of them, we wouldn't be able to do it now anyway. We're tired. That does lower our stats. I don't think it shows up, but we'll go to Baragos first. There's a lot of people in there. A lot of them are just commoners. They have nothing interesting to say. I guess they might have one line of dialogue talking about what's going on, but eh. Not really worth to talk to all of them, I think. Okay. We go here.
It is done.
And we head south. Stay on the road because there can be monsters in the forest. Okay, we want to go to Baragos, so south. Oh, gibberlings.
Something I could do no.
Your concern?
Your voice is ambrosia.
Hit one of them. There we go.
What you want?
Yes, it is done.
My blade will cut you down the side.
I grow weary.
I can't but try. Good done. As you direct.
For the fallen!
No, he's getting away. Get him. There we go. Okay.
I am indeed.
They got a little bit of loot on them. 1 gold piece. Ooh, 11.
Your concern, certainly.
Okay. I don't really want to risk taking damage, so while I was using spells. Oh, hello. You interested in talking? Must dash to Baragos, I must. Governor Keldath must be told of the extra troops being sent his way. Baragos is to be garrisoned in case of Armish attack. Though Arm has denied such intent. Of course they wouldn't deny it. The snakes make way for the messenger. Okay. Oh, hey, kid.
You funny looking.
What are you doing out here? Don't you be getting any closer, or I'll have Mum come and give you a belt. Relax, kid. I don't want to hurt you. Ah, beat it, kid. I got no time for your whining. As you would have it, I did not want to frighten you. I don't want to hurt you. Oh, sure, that's what the other group of bandits said. Then they went and attacked a caravan I just saw leave. They were a bunch of liars, probably just like you. Get lost. Caravan? Oh. Oh, hello. The members of this caravan met a violent death. While there is no evidence to suggest it, you would surmise that bandits must be responsible. 7 gold in there. And nothing in there. Okay. Let's head south here. And we'll go to Baragos. Here's Nashkel down here, along with a carnival and Nashkel mines. Arm is another kingdom, which is to the south here. Imagine on the map that there is a mountain range going along here with a narrow pass separating Arm from the Sword Coast region, which we're in here. This is Baldur's Gate up here. There's the bridge to Baldur's Gate. And Candlekeep, of course, and so on. So, go to Baragos.
Good day, my lady.
Fine day to you, sire. Such a fine day to you, wouldn't you say?
What do you need?
Okay. Golden Vend. Need directions? You seem a friendly sort, so I thought I'd offer my services as a guide. What do you need from the town of Baragos? Direct me to an affordable inn. I would much appreciate it. We have many inns for the frugal adventurer. The Red Chief has basic rooms, though the clientele is a touch rowdy. There's also the Burning Wizard and the Jovial Juggler, which also have finer suites. The Red Chief is near the center of town, as is the Burning Wizard. The Jovial Juggler is a bit further along and sits on the southern edge of the city. What's the nicest inn in town? The finest inn would have to be the Feld Post, though it's also quite friendly. Lots of local colour. Field Post's Inn is the lower west side of town. Needs some well-made armour and weapons and armour. Do you have a good smithy? We have the best smithy in all the realms. Tayrum Thunderhammer Fuirum runs the Thunderhammer Smithy in the eastern side of town. He has a few exceptional items as well, though you can also check the Field Post's Inn, then carry trophy items. Though you have Best Be Richard's Kings, Field Post's Inn is in the west, closer to the southern edge of town. What's a good tavern? A drop or two to ease your spirits. The Burning Wizard and the Red Chief are in center town. Field Post's Inn is located in the rest of there, blah blah blah. Thanks for the help. No problem, friend. Enjoy your stay.
It is done.
Oh, I'm getting a little sleepy.
We should probably go to a tavern or an inn and have a sleep. We did just travel like nearly an entire day. Well, without resting.
If I'm not allowed to sleep, our next assailants may just live.
Of course, everyone's going to start complaining.
I tire. I'll be much more agreeable with rest.
Okay, where is one of these taverns? Here we go. There's a Burning Wizard. I believe you are another potential party member.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Garrick. I'm not interested in taking you, but I guess we'll talk to you.
I have a pretty proposal for you.
I have heard that you're an excellent group of warriors. How would you like a well-paid job as bodyguards for my mistress? We don't hire out as mercenaries. Right then, sorry for taking up your time. I'm gonna load.
It is done.
I'm pretty sure he is a potential party member.
You want some whiskey?
Hello. Been a few days since I've seen as many strangers as you brought with you. Hope the city treats you kindly. What have you got? Okay. He doesn't sell any items, but he has some room, so we'll rest for 5 days. Or rest for 8 hours.
It is done.
For 5 gold. There we go. I do want to have a look at the other inns and stuff. So there's the Red Sheep. Entrance is up here.
You're at the end of your rope, I'll wager.
Not that it's anything personal, you understand, but I'm afraid your time on this here ball of mud is just about done. Why are you doing this? I've done nothing to you. Whatever you're being paid, I'd double it. I hope you're the will to back up those words. Aye, that I do. The way and the will and the way. Shall we get to business then?
My blade will cut you down to size.
I must have.
Ow.
It is done.
Ow.
I am indeed.
Leave me alone, please, sir.
Something troubling you?
Your concern, certainly.
Nope. Retreat.
Your voice is ambrosia.
Can I help
Nature as you direct.
Yes, indeed.
There we go. He's lost aggro.
You have need of me? I can, but try.
Oh, another thing in Baldur's Gate is you can't see how many hit points someone has left. Later games, they put a little counter there to say... Ow!
Yes, oh, omnipresent authority figure.
I can do no other.
He had a morale panic. There we go. Oh, wow. Monteron critical hit him, and he died and exploded.
I am here indeed.
Very good. He had some stuff on him. Let's see. I'll put that there. Khalid, you can carry these. Does anyone need this? Jahira can't wear it, I don't think. Oh, no, she can. Can she cast spells when she's wearing that? Yeah, she can. Okay, cool. She can wear that. Anyone can wear this leather armor. Jibbed or gibbed. I should be saying it with a hard G. That's how I like to, but sometimes I forget. I don't have a mace or club for her. What's this? Be it known to all those of evil intent that a bounty has been placed upon the head of Pheak, the foster child of Gorion. Last seen in the area of Candlekeep, this person is to be killed in quick order. His offer has been extended to all appropriate guilds. Those returning with proof of the deed shall receive no less than 350 coins of gold. That's really not that much. As always, any that reveal these plans to the forces of law shall join the target in their fate. I think we have another one here too as well. Yeah. 350 coins of gold. 200 coins of gold. So our bounty has gone up. 200 and 350. Let's learn Burning Hands. What's that axe do? 1 to 8 slashing. Okay, that's the same. So there's functionally no difference between a longsword and a battle axe, except they use axe proficiency or longsword proficiency. Hang on, speed factor 7. 5. So this is faster and it weighs less. So a longsword's just better than an axe. Because it's fast.
Your concern?
They do the same damage.
Yes, certainly.
Whatever.
Weird things have been afoot lately.
Hello, you wouldn't have happened to see the big loudish guy with the dog's head on him around here, have you? Can't say that I have. Yeah.
You want some whiskey? You want some? I got some cheap beer for you. I gotta stop dipping into me own ale.
Tell me what you have to offer. They've all got different drinks as well, which is interesting. Though, you know, there's not really functional difference on them. Some of them I think will get you drunk faster. Fire wine, blood wine, golden sands brew, Erie Aboran, North Brew Ale. Glug glug. Let's go upstairs. See what's up there. Actually, can we talk to someone here? Should have been a merchant caravan through here just yesterday. Odd that they have not yet arrived. They were supposed to bring iron ore down from the north, but I bet they suffered the same fate as all the rest.
Glad to meet you, friend.
Hello. Hail and well met, traveller. Ralio is the name. Ralio Windspear. Haven't seen you around here before. Perhaps you are new to town here. I'll make a point of meeting as many people as I can wherever I go. So many stories and tales. Have you been to the south? I hear tale of trouble in Nashkel. I have not been down that way for some time now, so I don't have much to say. Likely you will have heard from much from others about town anyway. Now, what can you tell me of Beragos? What would you like to know? I have met many of the locals, and I know a bit of history as well. Any outstanding quests that need resolution? I fancy myself a bit of an adventurer. An adventurer, eh? Well, if you're up to the task, I hear that there are strange things in the Ulcaster school ruins southeast of town. I would ne'er go down there unless you are quite sure of your abilities, though. Many a well-meaning fellow has gone and not come back. Only for those adept in battle. Other than that, I know that the lady Miriam has been awaiting news of her husband for some time. He was to come up from Arm, but is overdue. I know she would be grateful for any news. She lives on the east edge of town. If you find anything else you would like to know of? Shopping. Yeah, go to the tavern and I guess the smithy as well. Okay, thank you. Bye. My throat's hurting.
I am indeed.
Let's have a look. Can I steal anything from in here? Ooh, stuff. Nobody saw me. I have seen these people wake up sometimes, but... he might be able to see me there. Nope, okay. He probably does see me there. Nothing in there. You're heading off, Wex. Well, thank you very much for joining. Yeah, he probably won't go for much longer here anyway. 21 gold. Who just leaves gold in a bedside table like this? Leather armor. Hey, that's alright. I mean, I don't think I have anyone who could really use it. No.
Your concern? Yes, it is done.
So, whatever.
Certainly.
That's stealing affecting my reputation? I don't think so. Where do I see that? Average 10. Okay, nope, never mind. I'm pretty sure it would pop up in a locked box in a nice part of town. Yeah, I know. I mean, why would you leave it there?
Indeed.
Just where anyone can stumble over it. I believe the smithy is down here. I swear the money just fell into my pocket. I think these barrels out here anyone can take from and they don't care. I mean, it's 3 gold in a bag just lying outside. Yeah, here's the smithy. Also, when I said earlier that the party members will leave if you don't get to Nashkel, they do give you a warning. They will say, like, you know, we should be getting there by now. Will we be heading there soon? And you can say, like, yes. So, they do give you a warning before they leave. Maybe 2 or 3 warnings? I'm not too sure. It's not something I've done too often, because I've been a bit worried about it, but...
It is done.
Oh. Well, the door was open, but nobody's here. I actually forgot this game has, like, schedules for people.
I am here. It is done.
Spear in there.
Nature's servant awaits.
Let's have a look at people's sheets, because they will have what they're skilled at using. Blunt weapons, missile weapons. Okay. Khalid has longsword, bow, and axe. Imoen is short sword and bow. Monteron is short sword and missile weapons. Zar's probably short swords. Small swords, yep. And I know what arms. Okay. So blunt weapons. That means her staff, and if we can't really give her spear because she's not proficient with it.
There, Monteron! Quite the fight, eh, chum?
My equal is a talent of many men, all of them fools.
I don't remember that one. Someone smeared ketchup on my portrait.
As good as done.
Yeah, we're hurting a little at the moment. We're gonna have to rest again.
It is done.
Go over here. Oh, it's locked. No! What is this? What do you mean my mighty strength can't force the locks?
Better be good. I'll do your toil.
I think Imoen would be better at picklocking.
What need you? I'll do your toil.
I'm pretty sure you could just keep trying in this game. So it's like... there might be a small chance you can pick it, or sometimes it's just far too difficult. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't look like we're getting into those. Into those. Okay.
Certainly.
Let's leave.
Certainly.
Let's go down here. A neat detail is that you can tell where an inn is because you can hear the ambient music playing.
It is done.
Yes, yes.
They did quite a number on me, those half-ogres. There's a band of them fortifying themselves in the mountains south-southwest of here. If I could give them a taste of justice, that would do me proud.
I got some cheap beer for you.
I need a swig of some strong dwarven ale.
Try not to rattle the locals none, okay? Times are pretty harsh right now, and people don't need any more troubles than they've got. So what can I do for you? Let's see. Let's rest. That didn't heal us completely. There we go.
My temper's bad enough without ye bothering me.
Hi, so everyone's heard. Everyone's a rubbernecker then, is that it? Oh, Gurk has his famous cloak stolen right off his back by a batch of paltry Tasloy. Yeah, it's old news. You make one crack about the cloakwood being an appropriate place to lose it, at least I'll put a liver on the menu. Now move on and let the next people in line have their laugh. Okay. Apparently he lost a cloak in cloakwood. Let's see. I do want to go to the...
Certainly. I am here. It is done.
Other place.
Your concern?
Oh, hang on. Go back here. It's daytime. People will be in the smithy now. Here we go.
Certainly.
I can make whatever you wish for a wee little bit more than me competition.
Yes?
Kiss me, blarney. What you wish done?
Hello there. Is there anything I can do for you on this fine day? Show me what you have for sale. You don't really talk to him much either. Summer dagger, battle axe, bloodstone gem, jasper gem, 25 and 17 each. Pretty nice. Leather armor and the spear. 47 gold. So what does he have? Battle axe, throwing axes. I never really liked these. They're quite heavy. They weigh 5 pounds each. So, you know. A club. A flail. Let's see, a mace. Mace +1. Again, I just really like these little images I have here. I like the sketches of them. Probably one of the things which has encouraged me to do drawing over the years. Not that I'm really any good, but no, I don't know. I just like the little images there. Morning star. Short bow +1. Dagger +1. Again, magical items are nice because they won't be affected by the iron plague, so they will never disintegrate. Darts +1. 120 gold for a sack of 10. I never liked these because you're basically throwing money away for something which has got limited usage, and you can just miss with them. So, what's the point? I never really saw it. Later games, you can get like a magic axe which you can throw when it returns to you, so I find that much more useful. You don't just like toss money away at something and miss. Hello, welcome, welcome. You're doing well. Sling +1. Spear, quarterstaff +1. Bastard sword, longsword +1. 1,875 gold. We've already got 554. Short sword +1. Arrows +1. Arrows of ice. Magically enchanted to hit the target with a rolling ball of ice and cold. Deals cold damage, 1d6. No save. Pretty good. Arrows of biting, I believe, poison the target. 30% of total maximum hit points within 20 seconds after contact unless save versus death is made. I think these could be pretty good, especially against larger targets with more hit points. Arrows +2. Bolts +1. Bullets +1. Leather armor +1. Again, they've all got like unique appearances, which is really neat. Plate armor. That small shield +1, which we saw at the beginning of the game. Medium shield +1. Full plate mail? That's not actually magical. Full plate armor is the best armor a warrior can buy, both in appearance and protection. The perfectly fitted interlocking plates are specially angled to deflect arrows and blows, and the entire suit is carefully adorned with rich engravings and embossed detail. Armor class is 1. How much better is that than this? I think it's just plus 1 more. Armor class 3. So yeah, full plate mail is actually quite a bit better. Shadow armor. Only usable by thieves. Armor class 4. 15% hide in shadows. That's all. Lets you hide into dark faster. Light crossbow of speed. 12,000 gold pieces. The army scythe. A short-lived outpost of humans in the frozen forest unearthed this weapon and many others from the ruins of an ancient settlement deep within that cold land. Never knowing the names of their extinct benefactors, the colonists used these tools to carve a large territory for themselves, though in the end it was for naught. Crushed by a superior number of hobgoblins, these unfortunate souls have joined the ancients in their anonymity. Plus 1 damage, plus 1 thaco, 1 extra attack per round. So I guess it like shoots twice per round instead of 1, which is pretty nice. Speed factor of 3. Dagger of Venom. I think this is pretty good too. It's a potent blade favored by assassins all across the realms. This particular Dagger of Venom was created for use by the Shadow Thieves of Arm. Every time it hits an opponent, it secretes a venom into the bloodstream of the creature. The venom works quickly and efficiently. 1d4 plus 2 thaco bonus. So it is 2 extra damage on hit, and that means it's got an extra 2 hit bonus to hit armor class 0. Don't get me to explain thaco. I can look at my manual. I've done it before when I'm doing Pool of Radiance and so on. I still don't understand it entirely. It's just difficult for me to remember the formula you have to do. Where is it? Like, it's also partly that it's just thinking about thaco makes it more complicated than it is. It really isn't that complicated. I just forget exactly what you need to do. Because it's to hit armor class 0. So the stat is just to hit an armor class 0. But then it's the modifying it for other armor classes, which is what I get confused in. Pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Hold on. Armor class. thaco is an acronym for to hit armor class 0. This is a number a character, NPC, or monster needs to attack an armor class 0 target successfully. thaco depends on the character's class and level. The thaco number can be used to calculate the number needed to hit any armor class. It doesn't actually go into greater detail for it there, I don't think. Oh, hang on. The attack roll. When an attack is made, the armor class of the opponent being attacked is subtracted from the thaco of the attacker. The resulting number is what the attacker must roll in order to hit the opponent. This roll of the die is done with a d20, or 20-sided die, resulting in a number between 1 and 20. If the attacker rolls the number necessary or higher, then the attack is successful, and damage is done. If the attack is unsuccessful, sorry. I'm slurring my words, my mouth is getting tired. Then the attacker missed completely or was unable to penetrate the opponent's armor. For example, a 3rd level fighter has a thaco of 18. He is attacking a hobgoblin with an AC of 5. The AC of the hobgoblin is subtracted from the thaco, giving a to-hit number of 13. If the fighter rolls a 13 or higher on the 20-sided die, he hits successfully and does damage. That's actually pretty succinct. The fighter has a thaco of 18. The hobgoblin has 5. 18 minus 5 is 13. You have to roll a 13 or higher to hit. There we go. And then, yeah, you got a note +2. So what that means is on that 13, +2 would mean you'd minus another 2, which would make it 11 or higher. It's the whole, like, that you have to check your THAC0, which means it's like, it's in here. THAC0 of 18. There we go. So to hit Khalid here...
Can I help you?
Khalid has an armor class of 1. So 18 minus 1, 17. I have to roll a 17. Oh, I have to roll 17 or 18 to hit him, and an 18 is always a hit. Or is that 20? Actually, it's 20 sided die, so it's a 17, 18, 19, or 20, I think. Anyway. It's actually quite a succinct explanation of it in here. And that, yeah, a natural 20 is always a hit, which is a critical hit. And a 1 is a natural miss. And you always miss.
You have need of me? I am here.
I can make whatever you wish for a wee little bit more than
Did he have anything else interesting? That's 15,000 gold. So I don't have enough for that. Yeah. Poison damage. 6 points per round, up to a total of 15 damage. Again, that's actually pretty good early on. 6 points per round. Most enemies would only have about 18 points.
Your concern? Indeed.
Everyone else here is just like 4 chans.
It is done.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense where it says like, oh, it's +2. But then the +2 is actually a -2 for THAC0, and it's like, eh. But it's also a +2 in terms of damage. So you're doing 2 extra points of damage. If you roll like a 4 on a D4, then you +2 to that to get 6 points of damage. And, yeah, anyway. I think we'll get to Nashkel, and we'll call it there for tonight, because it's getting a bit late.
Done.
So, and my throat's hurting. I need to have a break. Sorry. All the talking in the Black Mirror earlier. It didn't help.
Jai pipsqueaks.
Hello. Boy. We need rest.
You mess with me, you mess with you.
These are Grillins. I think these are half ogres, half human.
You mess with me, you mess
I'll
with
do my best
you.
for the group.
They're actually pretty nasty.
Yep.
Something troubling you?
Yes?
Wow.
Ira. No. No.
I am here.
Well, we're reloading that. Because I do not have the money to resurrect your hero. Amazing.
Certainly.
Oh, I forgot to save. Do we have an autosave? Yeah, we do.
I am here. Certainly.
She took like 2 punches in quick succession and
It is done.
down. And you can see here the continuation of the map. You can see the corner of Baragos there. So, Baragos is just over there, even though I think it said it took like 8 hours for the trip. Oh, no. No. Okay, never mind. Some of the zones are further away from each other than you expect. Oh, even when actively playing 2nd edition, you have to have it written on the sheet. Once a week was not enough.
Smiles, everyone! Smile!
This is like some great fantasy.
Your concern?
Thanks, Zar.
Something troubling you?
As good as done.
Yes?
Ye spoke. Go suck your
Yes,
brains.
as good as done.
I am
Ow!
done.
You've as you direct.
It is done.
Time for some
You have need of me?
You mess with me, you mess with you. You mess with me, you mess with
I can,
you.
but try.
Okay.
My blade will cut you down to size.
There we go.
Yes?
Oh, I took a punch. How much did he hit me for? He hit me. 10 plus 0 equals 10 is a hit. Damage taken 6.
Certainly.
A scroll. What's this? Not that one. My dearest Miriam, the road has been difficult, but I have arrived safely here in Arm. I think it would be wise if I returned by sea, however. Perhaps sometime after the first snows have fallen. I trust this letter reaches you. The halfling I hired to carry it struck me as an honest enough chap. Always and forever, Ro.
I am here.
We actually did hear
Your concern
about someone waiting for a letter. Let's go back and deliver that. Where did he say she was? I don't remember. I was at the friendly army and someone tried to kill me. He was apparently a bounty hunter. Why do these attacks continue? Bentley told us that there has been some sort of trouble in the south. Perhaps we should go to Nashkel. Jahira and Khalid would have me accompany them to Nashkel. Bjornin, the paladin, currently healing from his wounds at Beragost's jovial juggler inn, has asked me to uproot a band of half-ogres. According to his reports, they have been fortifying themselves in the mountains south-west of town. Girk, a crusty old dwarf at Beragost, has had his supposedly famous cloak stolen from him by a batch of Tazloy in the Cloakwood. After a brief encounter, I have come to the conclusion that I'd do almost anything to rid him of that sour mood.
It is done.
An annoying thing in this game is you can't tell your characters to walk onto the black. I guess because you don't know what's there, but... Hello, what's in this box? Oh, hey, leather armor. There's a field post in. I don't think I want to go there. Here, perhaps? Where did I learn about... Was it from him, or was it from someone else? Okay, that place is locked. I'll just go around until I find a place which is open, I guess.
Yes, indeed. I am here. It is done. You'll feel the sting in my boot if you bother me further.
Hey, friend. Good to meet
you. Look a lot like
fine
the bandits that
sound
raided my
such as
caravan.
yourself.
No, maybe it wasn't you. This crisis just has me on edge. I see bandits wherever I look. Hope it all ends one way or another.
Certainly.
I like the comments from people. What are you doing barging into my house? Who the hell are you? Get out.
Yes,
Excuse me, this is just a home inspection.
It is done.
Loser, loser.
Hey, kid.
Loser, loser,
Mom,
loser.
someone's in the house. Ooh, you're gonna get in if you don't leave. Daddy might come home and give you such a whooping.
Here. It is done.
Okay.
It is done.
Let's leave.
Indeed. You'll feel the sting in my boot if you bother me.
Maybe here?
It is
Mother
done.
said not to talk with strangers.
You scared me. I wasn't taking anything honest. I was just checking out the house, that's all. Someone's got to watch over the place, because I'm sure they will be back. The Grey Carts only went to Baldur's Gate to visit, and they should be back already. I'm going to wait right here until they ever do. Okay.
Certainly.
Maybe it's this one here? Hold on. I might just look this up. I've played this game before, so... Eastern edge of town. Blue roof. Okay. Over here, I guess. Nothing says noble adventure like robbing the town. We got expenses. We can't be noble adventurers unless everyone donates. Maybe it's this big place here. No, that doesn't have a blue roof. Here? Yeah, this might be it. Yep, here we go.
Your concern. It is done.
Salutations.
My husband had to make a sudden business trip to Arm, and I'm so worried for him. Miriam, he always said. Miriam, who knows the road better than old road? But the highways just aren't as safe as they once were, and there hasn't been a messenger from Arm here in months. Could you keep your eyes open along the southern roads and let me know if you find anything? I was moved by the pleas of Miriam of Baragos today. Her husband, Ro, had to make a trip south to Arm, and she is understandably worried for his safety. I have sworn to keep my eyes open for any news of relevance I might encounter on my journey down that road. Hello, welcome, welcome. One of your all-time favorite games. Great to see you on playing it. I'm happy to be playing it. It's one of my favorites as well. Probably my favorite RPG. It's about time I went through this. We're probably just about to finish up, sorry, but...
Salutations.
Get to Nashkel before we finish. Oh, thank you for such good tidings. Please, let me give you this ring to keep you safe on your travels. Ooh, another ring of protection. You cannot equip 2 rings of protection. But that's very nice. We will give it to Khalid. So he has an AC
Yes?
of 0.
I am here, certainly.
Okay, can I exit to the east here and go south? I can. There's a temple here. We don't need to go there just yet.
Indeed.
Yeah, an extra ring of protection is quite nice. Go down here. Oh, I have completed the task that a nameless halfling messenger, now dead and mourned, started deep in the heart of Arb. Miriam has received her husband's letter by my hand, and I am glad to hear that it bears good tidings of his safety. I am humbled by her offer of a simple ring to keep me safe. Be it magic or superstition, I know not, but I will wear it, at least, to remember her by. Well, it is actually magical, so... I think there's some other things hidden around the forests in like little rocks and so on. I think there's a stump somewhere which you can look in. But we'll probably find it when we explore these areas more thoroughly once we've gotten some more levels.
I serve the flaming fist.
Oh, hello. You there! You're under arrest for banditry and highway robbery. We know you're part of that bandit group who's been terrorizing the coastway. Give yourself up or there will be trouble. You got the wrong guys. We're not part of any bandit gang. If you want to fight, we'll give you a fight. We give up. You can take us prisoner. We even throw down our weapons. We're not part of any bandit gang. Really now? Why should we believe you? Because of my warm smile and honest demeanor. Take 50 gold and leave us be. If we were bandits, why were we walking out in the open? Come on, just let's go. We're not the people you're looking for. Look, sir, we really don't want any trouble. Like you were hunting down bandits in this region. I guess that's kind of true. So you're hunting the bandits. Well, who hired you to take on the bandits? Or are you doing it out of the goodness of your heart? Nobody hired us. We're adventurers who are just trying to help out the people of Sword Coast. We're working for Arm. A noble hired us to avenge the death of his brother. We work for the Black Talon mercenaries. We're adventurers who are just helping out. Alright, maybe I was wrong about a bunch of you. You're free to go. Okay.
It is done.
Nope. Okay, let's save again. Okay, let's actually rest up, because I want my spells back. Get these delightful little cutscenes of the camp set up. There we go. We didn't heal too much though.
Spare no one.
Oh, hello. It's a hobgoblin. Okay, wait for him to come to us. There's probably more.
Your concern.
My blade will cut you down to size.
I am become hardly worth my
This
time.
better be
I can, but try.
Okay, what have you got? Ooh, a helmet. And a sword. You can wear that. We'll just distribute the weight a little bit.
Yes? Okay. I am here. It is done.
Oh, hello. Okay. Back up.
Nature's servant awaits.
Jahira, cast a heal on me, please.
Your concern.
I care not. I've done had enough of this.
No one.
I can.
What need
try.
ye get? Ye spoke. I'll do your toil.
Yes? Oh, I hardly not in this.
Okay, good.
My
Get
blade
him.
will cut you down to size.
There's quite a few hobgoblins.
I am here. Something troubling you?
Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure.
Your voice is ambrosia.
You've attacked. For the fallen!
Yep, I've done had enough of this.
It is done.
Stop touching me!
Yes?
Forward march!
We're not actually going too badly against them.
Certainly.
Delightful.
I am here. It is done.
As you direct.
Your concern, indeed.
Mostly, I'm really worried about the archers. Bowmen in this game hurt a lot. Why we should equip all of our fighters with bows. We'll take all the arrows. And all that. You have a helmet. You can wear a helmet. I think Imoen can wear a helmet too. Ooh, a ring. Not a magical ring, just a green stone ring. No, she can't. Okay. Zara can't wear a helmet. No.
I am here. Certainly.
Another, gem. Isle gem. You can't wear just a normal ring. Can you use a shield? You can, because you're a fighter thief. There you go.
Your concern? Indeed.
I should have bought Jaheira just a, club or something, so I could give her a shield.
Yes?
Okay. I could pick up everything else. Do I want to? I guess if we go to Nashkel, we can sell it.
You have need. I'll do my best.
What you want? I've done had enough of this.
I can, but try.
Get a bit over encumbered, but
I've done had enough of this.
Good as done.
hey, you know, I mean, they're not using it anymore.
You've attacked.
You're encumbered now. Okay.
What need ye dead?
I am certainly.
Okay. It's not going to sell for much, but hey.
Don't touch me. I might catch something.
Lord Foreshadow. Well, don't you just add to the local colour. Quite the smashing bit of dress you wear there. I'd have to look at such sundries when I next attend one of Lord Rebald's full-dress costume affairs. I'll be the talk of Neverwinter, I would. Am I to understand that you are from that far-away city? I've heard of such a city, but I have my doubts as to whether it even exists. I'm unconcerned with such things. Do you have any information about the area south of here? I don't know. Do you have any information around here? I suppose you were asking the immediate south, such as Neskel and its mines? Unfortunately, no. I spent no time there, and I'm busy myself with destinations more distant, and I've traveled to the great city of Athkatla on one occasion or another. You should really consider visiting there sometime. It's likely to be very popular in the future. None of this helps you now, of course. Cheerio. Is he referencing, like, Baldur's Gate 2 and, Neverwinter Nights, possibly? Haha. I don't think I understood that at the time. Here we go. Oh boy. That shows you that I am actually playing on legitimate hardware. Because it is asking me for a third CD. Just a moment. As I mentioned earlier, since I'm using my original CDs, one, I'm gonna have to find where they all are. And two, some of my CDs, excuse me a moment, are very scratched. So they may not play correctly. There we go. I think actually this one, CD3, might have been one of the ones which didn't work correctly. I have made the screen black at the moment. Just hold on. Okay, there we go. I like the little screen there of like a computer. And it's got a BioWare, Black Isle flavored drink. Like a proper late 90s setup right there. Okay. We might be hitting a bit of a problem here, because it's looking at drive D. I'm pretty sure I changed the INI file so that it should be looking at drive F, which is what my external CD drive is in. As weird as that is, I don't actually have a CD drive in my computer anymore. Okay. I can fix this. Don't worry. What is my CD drive? Yeah, it's drive D. Drive F. So, F. Okay, there we go. Interestingly enough, the INI for Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate, INI, INI file. Sorry, that's just what I call it. It actually has an entry in it for each of the CDs. So I guess you could have like 5 CD drives and have each of the CDs in them separately, and it would look at each CD drive for each CD. So you wouldn't have to swap them over. I think I've seen a video of someone with a... Okay, I'm gonna have to restart the game. With a CD player which actually swapped the keys over, swapped the CDs over while you're playing it. But because I think, oh man, was it Phantasmagoria? I think had the option to like you could load all the CDs and it would go off them, or at least the example I saw. It might have been Clint of LGR who did that. Anyway. Let me just load this up again. Okay. Good thing I saved just before we got there. Okay, never mind, I did it. But it was after we picked up everything, so it doesn't matter. The wilderness maps, from what I remember, go off of just basically any CD, but specific CDs and all that go off certain CDs. I'll actually be able to ask this guy something else. Let me make another save. I think that eagle cry is of a wedge-tail eagle.
Don't touch me. I might catch something.
Hello. Am I to understand you're from that faraway city? Oh, I actually hail from Waterdeep. The great city of splendors has much more in the matter of social luxury suited towards my particular tastes. I do, however, make a point of keeping in touch with Neverwinter, though I have only visited once previously. It was quite popular in those nights, if I recall correctly. I'm going to make a second trip in the coming year, and I'll wager it will be as popular again. So that might be... I guess that's referencing Neverwinter Nights, but I don't think that came out in 99. I think that came out a little bit later. And I don't know what one it's referencing before that. I guess I know there was a mud MMO Neverwinter Nights, which was built off the SSI game engines. So maybe that one? But I'm not too sure. Come on, please load. As I said, scratched CDs. If this doesn't work, I'll just end the stream here. Or I'll just end the recording and stream here. And I'll have to find the other CDs in the meantime. Which I have. Burnt copies of other CDs. Hey, it worked.
Father, I'm off to play.
Have a fine day, dear.
Did you remember to wash your face?
I did now.
There's some kobolds. Get a better look at them there. Okay, that loaded fine. Good.
With your hurried flight from Candlekeep barely behind you, the troubles facing the Sword Coast seem an unfamiliar blur to your fractured nerves. Gorion would not have you sit idle, however, and perhaps investigating local concerns will shed some light on your own predicament. How the iron shortage or the trouble in the Nashkel mines could possibly be linked to you, you have no idea.
Okay. Anyway, we'll save it there. And we'll continue with this next time. It's going pretty well so far. But the proper adventures will really start next time when we get into Nashkel Mines. But anyway, thank you very much for joining. I hope you join me there.